Hello everyone, can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I need to put my hat on. I haven't even put my hat on. What is going on? Michael Mckinson versus Chris Congo. Chris Congo and Michael Mckinson in the ring right now. We're in round 10. Michael Mckinson is winning this fight for me. Been really impressive actually. Kind of controlled this fight. And he's been winning by a couple of points. He's fought his fight, made Chris Congo have to fight his fight as well. So we'll see what the scorecards are. But Mikey proving to be a problem for Chris Congo. Got a knockdown as well earlier. So very interesting, especially with the records. You would have thought Chris Congo was able to maybe get a knockdown or two. But Mikey's done what Mikey does do. And he's got 2 minutes and 15 seconds to navigate through in this last round to pick up the victory and WBO Global Welterweight title, beating the current holder, Chris Congo. We'll see what the scorecards say if it comes to it. These fighters, they're putting their hands up after each exchange, trying to say that they won the exchange. 2 minutes left. Oh, big right hand there from Congo. You can see the difference in size between Congo and Mckinson, but Mckinson's taken a couple of shots that he's had to take on the chin well and move forward. And moved out the way as well. His movement's been really, really good in this fight. Last 90 seconds for Mckinson to navigate through. See if Congo can do anything to push the pressure.
He's never solved the problem that is Michael Mckinson.
1 minute left. And he's just not imposed himself, Chris Congo, which is a strange one. Oh, right hand lands for Michael. Solid shot. In these exchanges, he's just he's so cute with the shots, getting little shots in, sort of like how Kid Galahad kind of gets his little shots in the exchange. He does that sort of thing. Both putting their hands up in the air, but for me, Michael Mckinson's won this. They're saying no knockdown, and that's probably fair. The feet got tangled there. That wasn't a knockdown. Both men put their hands in the air, but I think Michael Mckinson's won this. Fuck you, Rob. What's up, Rob? Good to see you in here. Good to see you being the only person in here. You can't leave now. Rob, hit the like button for me, you heathen. Oh, he's calling me. No, come on. How are you going to call me now? I have this 5-5. Robert Tibbetson is 5-5. Mckinson 95-94 winner due to the first round in a very close fight. Come on, I don't need... God's sake. We're just waiting for the scorecards now. They're just being tallied up. People online saying it's been a close fight. And, no, to be honest with you, I think Michael Mckinson's a clear winner here. I'll take that back. Not a clear winner. A couple of rounds here and there, but he's won. 93-96, that's fair from Paul Smith. I see that being pretty much about right. 6-4 Mckinson. Mckinson the winner, Dave Colwell says. I back that. We'll see what happens on the scorecards. When the scorecards are... It's taken quite a while. Here we go. Now we're getting the scorecards. Diamante's reading them out now. 97-93. That's got to be Mckinson. 96-94. It's going to be UD, isn't it? Yeah, it's got to be Michael Mckinson. And there it is. Michael Mckinson wins. I picked him to win and he's won. Well done. Congratulations to Michael Mckinson who picks up the victory over Chris Congo. Decent fight that. I enjoyed it for what it was. A bit of a picky fight, a pick'em fight. And Michael Mckinson beats Chris Too Slick Congo. Good fight. He fought the right fight, and just the problem was that Mckinson imposed his type of fight on the two fighters. And Congo never really dealt with it at all, which was strange to see. I thought he didn't really adapt and couldn't land that right hand. Interesting fight though, enjoyable fight. Even though it's a bit boring, a bit slated, but I enjoyed like, the little chess battle that was going on, and I feel good. I feel happy for Michael Mckinson, who said his career starts now, and it does. Hasn't had the limelight, hasn't had the opportunities that other fighters have had, and he's picked up the victory. Michael, I just wanted to know, you're highly rated within the WBO.
Yeah.
More high rated than Chris Congo, Lewis Crocker, high rated than Conor Benn would be in his IBF rankings. Why do you think you've had less of the spotlight than your domestic rivals, yet you're higher rated than them?
You got to know somebody in this game, haven't you? I've started from the very bottom, from a small fighting city really of Portsmouth, and I've had to do things the hard way. Like I've been the B-side many times before, like a couple of times before. I've fought for no money. I've came up the hard way with little publicity, and I wasn't a top amateur, which that didn't help me when I first turned pro. I wasn't a top amateur, so there's many reasons, but it just makes it even better that I'm finally where I want to be. My career starts on Saturday. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm seeing it. This is my golden ticket to change my life. Like, beating Chris Congo could open up so many great opportunities for me, which that I need. So, but that's a must win. Like, I've got to get the job done. And once I get that job done, then we can move on and talk about whoever's next.
And there it is. That's what Michael Mckinson said. And when I interviewed him, I kind of felt for him because, you know, he hadn't had the opportunity. It's very weird how someone who that high up the rankings hasn't got that much spotlight. It astounds me, to be fair. But he deserves his spot in the. He deserves his place in the spotlight now. considering that win. And I thought he was going to win beforehand, and he has won. So well done to Mikey. The problem, Mckinson. Yeah, Chris Congo, we're just getting him in the ring, well, on the mic now, and he's being a gracious loser here at this point. Close fight, well, not close fight, but like there were close moments there. Like Mikey, you know, he doesn't do loads to win a round. So if Congo's a bit more effective and on the front foot a bit more, closing him down, maybe he'd be able to have a bit more success and land a few more shots. But there you go, there he is. WBO Global, whatever that title means. But he's the new Global welterweight champion. Mikey the problem, proving to be a problem. Mean feel on top of the globe. That's a good shout by a guy called Henry. Right, Ricky Hatton's son coming on next. We'll see how Ricky gets on. Ricky's son gets on even. Campbell Hatton. Very weird seeing the son of a great come through and get an opportunity. Makes you feel really, really, really old. It's in against a guy called by the name of Jesus Ruiz, Mexican, 0-10. When I saw the name Jesus Ruiz, there's a Jesus Ruiz with like 40 wins. I was like, why the hell are they throwing in him with this guy? But it was the wrong Jesus Ruiz. And we've had recently a couple of Mexicans coming over and surprising the British. The British lot. Mauricio Lara, Josh Warrington. Mauricio Lara getting the KO victory, or stoppage victory, whatever it was. Gabriel Valenzuela beating Robbie Davis Jr. in a decent fight. I think apparently Stephen Denton has been knocked out on the Queensbury Promotions card, which is a bit of a shocker.
He puts his head down into position, but what led into this knockout was the way that Povetkin was. So well what he does, he jabs, gives the eyes, feints to the body.
But it was good, man. That was enjoyable, to be fair, because there are times when you see fights and they're quote-unquote boring because not a lot's happening there, but you can see there's a chess match being played and a load of feints, a load of posturing, a load of, you know, snookering with the jab, playing for real estate around the ring, who's on the front foot, who's on the back foot. I don't normally tend to enjoy those type of fights, but I did this time around in Congo versus Mckinson. And I wasn't sold on Congo, which is why I was picking Michael. Because Chris had only fought 2 fighters with a winning record. Whereas, one sec, I'm just texting Steve Wellings.
Well, it's evening on the Rock, Gibraltar is the setting. The Rock, Gibraltar is the setting.
Yeah, he's only fought 2, well maybe 3 fighters with a winning record. One of them being Luther Clay, who's a good, tough fighter, a real fan favourite type of style fighter, but a limited one. And then another fighter, I think, from abroad, like a European, an Eastern European, who he beat. Everyone else, I believe, on Congo's record has a losing record. And Mckinson has been like slogging it out on the small hall shows, beating fighters with decent records. Ryan Kelly is a really, really, really good win. I should take that back. Not a really, really good win, but he's no slouch. He's a good fighter, Ryan Kelly is. And you got something about you if you beat someone the standard of Ryan Kelly. I watched him fight Hamza Shiraz, and Ryan Kelly caused Hamza some problems before eventually Hamza Shiraz stopped him with a lovely, lovely shot to the body. I think it was first, and then he finished him up top. And the referee called the fight off. I was there, Midlands Mayhem, for that fight. It was a good fight to watch. But he beat Ryan Kelly, who's a good fighter. He beat, was it Harkin? Matty Harkin? Who's a good fighter again. So, I was never sold on Chris Congo, and I just thought, the way Mikey fights, the problem he poses for fighters, I think it's going to be an issue for Chris to, when he faces that in the ring, to adapt to that, even though Chris has the size, and the size eventually might tell. You have to be able to adapt, and I don't think he did adapt. And he got caught into that little chess match when he could have been cutting off the ring and trying to impose his fight on. I know Chris is too slick, but Chris also cut down the ring off of Luther Clay when he saw he had him hurt. And that reminds me, Chris also got hurt against Luther Clay to the body. I think it might be in the previous round before Luther got stopped. But Congo showed that he had weaknesses, and that's why I went for Mckinson, and Mckinson picks up the win. A solid win. Elsewhere, earlier on the card, we had Nick Webb. Nick Webb got a win over Eric Pfeiffer, which is really, really not a shocker, but like an interesting one, because Eric Pfeiffer was supposed to be fighting Daniel Dubois, wasn't he? And then Dubois had to pull out. Pfeiffer had to pull out apparently because of brain scans issues. But people on the circuit thought that there was something more going on behind the scenes. But it turns out that it really wasn't, and Eric Pfeiffer is just a load of crap, and Daniel Dubois would have blown through him. Yeah, Daniel Dubois would have blown through him if that fight had happened, and would have got a better fight out of it. Instead, I went with Ricardo Schneiders. There's Campbell Hatton, looking like a clone of Ricky Hatton, completely. Looking like a young Ricky Hatton. This is only a 4-rounder, so I think this will go to points. Ozzie Smith is aboard the Webb train. We're just getting a promo now. Conor Benn, Campbell Hatton. And it's weird, isn't it? Because you make your debut for a fighter, and generally the only pressure you have is the pressure of the debut. But look at all this media work he's done. Look at all these videos and meetings and camera work he's had to do off the back of just making his debut. I think he signed with 258 Management as well, which is Anthony Joshua's management team. So the spotlight is really, really on him, and it's going to be on him, like it is with other sons of greats or daughters of greats, like your Julio Cesar Chavez, like your Nigel Benn, like your Chris Eubank Sr. Their sons they have that bar of expectation set upon them because of what their dad did before them, and that's somewhat unfair. Because they're just a fighter within their own right, and they will eventually step out their own shadow, like Campbell Hatton will do if he can get there in the game. But he's making his debut. He's decided and he's made the choice to fight even. And we'll see how he gets on. From what I've seen, he's not anything like his father in terms of fight style. A lot more kind of set in boxing as opposed to coming forward and fighting and scrapping, from what I've seen. But he might have that bit of scrap about him as well. I assume so, being Ricky's son, who will have that about him. So he'll come through this one with the win on points, I believe. But he says he's nervous himself, and you would be, wouldn't you? You've seen your dad do this, now you're doing this. It's your first time doing this. But to be fair, this level of scope or microscope on you, on your debut, will bode you well for later on. Because if you proceed, you're only going to get the same sort of level of stuff multiplied. So it's a good thing in a way, because he'll learn straight out the gate, as opposed to learning later on when he captures a title or some sort of British title or whatever it is. So he's adapting when he's young, and will adapt now, which is good. Matthew Hatton training him. Matthew, a decent fighter within his own right, fought Canelo Alvarez. Had a decent career, not to the level of Ricky Hatton's, but not a career that you can't say he was a bum of a fighter or anything like that. Had a decent career, Matthew Hatton did. He'll probably be more nervous than anything, Ricky, I assume anyway. And it's a strange one. You thought Ricky would want to be specifically in Campbell's corner, but it looks like he's not. He's just going to be a spectator. He's got a bottle in his hand. Has he got a bottle in his hand? No, it's a bottle of water. I thought it was like a bottle of beer. I'd be surprised with a bottle of beer, because he's got Ricky Hatton. He's got Ricky Hatton. Sorry, Fabio Ward. He's going to be having Ricky Hatton in his corner for his fight with Eric Molina. So but for me, it's like I don't set that bar of expectation for someone like that. I just kind of look to enjoy the career and not really judge them against their father. But some people are just ruthless and say, "Oh shit, he's a bum. He's nothing like his dad," and this, that, and the other. Credit enough for trying to do that sort of stuff and trying to live up to that expectation. Conor Benn's doing a decent job after a shaky start. He's much improved under Tony and Peter Sims. And you can only expect that, really. In those first few fights, you're going to see flaws. You're going to see those weaknesses. You're not going to see what you see later on. It's just, again, the expectation's there from the get-go. Sasha Povetkin's in the building. Old pick, Billy Joe Saunders. Florian Marco versus Michael Mckinson. Michael Mckinson beats Florian Marco. David Dumante's getting ready. He's on the ring walk now. Getting ready to announce the two fighters walking. I think Campbell Hatton's going to come out to Blue Moon, isn't he? Go away, it's all over the place. Come on. Should be any moment now for Campbell Hatton and Jesus Ruiz. Jesus Ruiz. The fights that still got left to happen, we've got Cheeseman Metcalf. Apparently Metcalf's become the overwhelming favourite, which is interesting. I wouldn't say there's an overwhelming favourite as such. Internet's shocking. What is going on? Fabio Wardley versus Eric Molina. Decent step up for Fabio Wardley. As the Gibraltar fans are singing with their beers, it's good to see some fans in the ring, in the arena, enjoying themselves at least. We can't enjoy it, but to be fair, it does bring a little bit extra back when fans are there, and it is nice to see. I hope they just don't fucking play that sweet, shitty Caroline. Get rid of that trash. God, internet is absolutely all over the place. I think that's Blue Moon. Yeah, that's Blue Moon. Series coming out to Blue Moon. Blue Moon is a classic Manchester City anthem. I think they play it and sing it, don't they? Every football match that's happening, they sing Blue Moon. Is it the Rocky version? I think there's a Rocky version and there's a more ballady type version. Yeah. Don't know what that screaming's about on the entrance. Ah, this is another Manchester City type of song, isn't it? Boom, boom, bada, bing, bing, bada, boom. Hopefully this is a lot better. Ricky Hatton looking like he's about to shed a tear out of his eyes for his son. Campbell Hatton is in the ring on his feet, taking a sip of water, the Hurricane, as opposed to the Hitman. Paver's in here. What's up, Paver? James Wins is in here. Hey, Ames. Good to see you in here, James. Hopefully we'll get a few more people in here as we pick up. I'm sure people will pick up later towards the main event. That's what I put in my little tags. So I expect people to maybe turn up, hopefully. But we'll get a few in here later on. You finishing all your uni work, are you, James? Is that what you're saying? I wish you all the best in that. I just finished my master's degree, my LPC. So I know the feels of working hard to finish all your uni work. I think that's what you were saying there. So I wish you all the best with your uni work, man. The fucking thing was a ball ache for me. I had to like teach myself modules of law because there wasn't any teaching going on at my uni. So but yeah, we got the job done. We got the master's degree in the bag. Got that not given to me, but I got the results last week. So over the moon with that, and we can push on with content for Boxing News TV. And here, once I've got my PC sorted, I just need to get a GPU, which is proving to be a little bit harder than usual. But good to see you in here, James. James here from the Boxing Side, the best boxing podcast in my opinion. And I'll be there in the chat live later on. The sky blue gloves look nice though, don't they? I'm a Watford fan. Born in Watford. But the sky blue do look nice, can't lie. Lots of love for Campbell Hatton in the Gibraltar crowd. They must have loved Ricky in Gibraltar. I expect Campbell to want to impress, want to step on the gas and try and get the stoppage, but I think he'll get it on points. Bell for the first round rings. Campbell Hatton looking just a little bit taller than Jesus Ruiz. Actually, Jesus might be... No. Campbell is definitely that tiny bit taller, but both of these men are just a little bit hunched with the bend in their legs. Jesus looking sloppy already. Left hook is just slow and wide. A good shot to the body, and Jesus looked like he was about to dip there. Campbell putting it on with body shots. Slow winging left hook from Jesus Ruiz. Pouring out a jab. In the clinch, they're just wrestling over each other and trying to hit some shots on. The referee just tells them to split and then get back into the action. Exchange of jabs. Jab down to the body from Jesus, and then up top blocked by Ricky's son. Left hook, right hand, left hook from Campbell Hatton. Left hook to the body. He's winging him in, hurting him. He's trying to get the stoppage already. First round, he wants it done. Left hook to the body from Campbell. Campbell looking calm. A little bit, you know, erratic. But that will be, you know, because of their debut. Enjoying the moment. Jesus just looks so open. But to be fair, Jesus has only been stopped once, so there's a nice left hook landed from Campbell. Wings that over Jesus' slow right hand. Jesus Ruiz looks like the first fighter you fight on a boxing game like Rocky. Go on, Jesus. Right, hand landed from Jesus Ruiz. Left hook lands for Campbell. Tried to wing in an overhand right, missed wildly. Campbell steps back as Jesus Ruiz... Well, he pulled off with a jab, but didn't counter with anything. I think the corner will just tell him to just chill and relax in the second round. Try not to look for it too much. Jesus Ruiz trying to spoil and clinch. Uppercut on the inside was a nice shot there from Campbell. Switches around and pushes Jesus towards the ropes. Left hook to the body. Uppercut, left hook. He keeps trying to pick that left hook. I think they're trying to pick the body shot as a way to stop Jesus. Just pushes down on the head. That's a push down. Yeah, the referee acknowledges that. Bell for the first round rings. I'm sure Campbell Hatton will be happy to get that done and out the way. Yeah, Lancaster wants too much of us, James. I know that, man. Uni's just fucking shit, man. But you'll get it done. Get it done. Get it all over and done with, and then you can rest. Big weight off of my shoulders, getting my degree out of the way. So, yeah. I wish you all the best with that. Really thought Congo would win tonight. James, I didn't. I don't know if you listened to myself, Ben Faruqi, and Steve Wellings on the Boxing News TV live we did yesterday. I wasn't sold on Congo at all, considering his record. I think his record off the top of the head, he's only fought 2 fighters with a winning record. One being Luther Clay and another being like an Eastern European, like early in his career maybe, or like in one of the middle fights that he had so far. So I just wasn't buying the Chris Congo stuff, especially as I remember the Luther Clay fight. Yeah, he beat Luther Clay and he beat him impressively, but he got hurt a few times against Luther Clay. I think in the round before he stopped Luther, he got hurt really to the body. And I know they're 2 different types of fighters, Clay and Mckinson, but I just thought there was something there that Mckinson could pick up on. And plus with the style and the fact that Mckinson has fought fighters with better records overall in his resume. I just thought Mckinson had the edge. Now the size is the issue that I thought might come to play, the size of Chris Congo, but Mckinson was elusive enough to avoid that, and it picked up a big shot there from Jesus Ruiz. Campbell takes one on the chin. Yeah, I just thought Michael Mckinson. I thought Congo fought Mckinson's fight, and that played him to Mckinson's hands essentially. But good win for Mikey, and it's a shame in this day and age. For someone of Michael Mckinson's stature in terms of rankings, he's the highest rated in the rankings compared to other domestic welterweights, but not had the spotlight that the other ones have had. But now hopefully he gets that. Deservedly won that WBO Global Well, I'm not going to start talking about the global title, but he's won that. Should in theory increase his rankings. Don't know quite how it works with that. He's number 6. He might be bumped up to number 5. Solid body shot aimed at the chest from Campbell Hatton. Right, it was a right hook to the body. 90 seconds left of the second round. Tied each other up. They're gonna try and fight on the inside. Right hand, left hand there on the inside from Campbell Hatton. Jesus Ruiz proving tough, and this will be good for Campbell to have someone at least to punch. Yeah, it's a bit of a punching bag, but at least someone there, and not someone who's just blowing over in the first round. Bloody nose there from Jesus Ruiz. 1 minute left of the second round. Wings over a right hand, misses from Campbell Hatton. Back on the front foot. Jab there from Campbell lands. Left hook to the body lands. He's been picking that left hook. Right hand to the body lands this time around. 1-2 to the top, then that right hook to the body. Uppercut on the inside. Decent shot. In return, Jesus Ruiz gets in a slow, ponderous hook to the body. 30 seconds left of the second round. Right hand lands to the body again for Campbell Hatton. Head's just butted there a little bit. And now Jesus Ruiz fires back with a 4-punch combination. Campbell would be just good to just take a step back and clear himself some room to just pick a shot. He's picking the body shots nicely enough. 10 seconds left of the second round. Oh, I see what you're saying, James. I think Metcalf will be too cute tonight and will win as Fitzy did. You know what, James? I was there in Newcastle, and there were a lot of people around me and myself who had Ted Cheeseman up 8 rounds or something like that, or 9 rounds in that Fitzgerald fight. And then all of a sudden, the people around me, as Scott Fitzgerald started to pick up on those last 3 or 4, they suddenly had it like a draw or Scott Fitzgerald picking, like eking out a win. Now I maintain that Ted Cheeseman won that fight against Scott Fitzgerald. That's how I saw it on the night there. I've not watched that fight back since, but I thought Ted Cheeseman won that fight. But Metcalf has like ran into a big favourite, hasn't he, with the bookies? I'm not really a betting man myself. But I don't think it'll be a fight where... I think it'll be a close fight. I'm not certain enough to pick a winner. In all honesty, I've not seen too much of James Metcalf to really be confident to know what he brings. I've seen a couple of fights and I haven't gone back to check any of his fights. So Wardley Webb next. Yeah, Wardley Webb next, or maybe Dubois Webb. I know Ozzy was saying Bogdan Dinu is picking, is getting the fight next with Daniel Dubois, and they want to keep him going and get him back up there. But that would be a decent fight for Dubois to come back to. I know a lot of people want to see Dubois back in something competitive, but Webb coming off of the win with Eric Pfeiffer, and Pfeiffer being a name that Dubois was going to be fighting not so long ago, I don't think that's a bad shout. But they probably will go with Bogdan Dinu. Wardley makes sense, unless Webb wants to go a different way. Maybe Webb Babich instead. But Webb showing he's still got he's got plenty left in the tank. I was the only one to speak to Nick Webb. I thought it was quite sad actually in the Matchroom Zoom press conferences. I was the only person who was there to. No one else had any questions or stayed to speak to Nick, which was a bit of an indictment as to where he was in his career. But that'll change now with that win, and we'll see him more getting a bit more of a spotlight. He had that Ultimate Boxing win, didn't he? He had 2 losses to Sokolowski, who's a bit of an O-taker, isn't he? He's Kamil Sokolowski, and then Dave Allen, who bowled him over. Solid shot there from Jesus Ruiz, who has just over a minute to see through the 3rd round and maybe see through Campbell Hatton's debut. And if Campbell Hatton makes it to a world title and a world title win, he can say he went the distance, as it were, with Campbell Hatton. Looking slow, looking He's taking a few shots. The ref isn't going to stop this by any means. He's not in that sort of bother. He's still fighting back. Really durable. Campbell Hatton winging in a few shots there. Very uncouth. Uppercut goes in. And again. And a clinch. Yeah, there's a nice right hand off at the end of that clinch. A lot to work on for Campbell, but this is the whole point of it. You know? We're not nowhere near going to get the finished article, but he's having a go. He's chosen this path. And he's not embarrassing himself, but he's showing that as a prospect does, a prospect needs a lot of work, even if you have the surname that your father has as well. Or share the same legendary name. I said that completely wrong, but you know what I mean, guys. Bell for the third round rings. We have 1 round left. Picking Whyte, TKO 7 or 8 tonight. Think he drops Povetkin and the ref weighs it off. Can't see him let Povetkin off as being as open. You know what? Like, they'll come under a lot of stick if they do like a shitty stoppage, a shitty, you know, British stoppage as Matty calls it. But that's not out of the realms of the possibility. Just to get the win over, you know, over the line, screw Povetkin over. You know, we can talk about judges and refereeing again, but ultimately Dillian Whyte would pick up the victory. There's so much in play. If I want to be like, forget about predicting it. I'm just going to sit back and watch it and enjoy it for what it is. If you had to put a gun to my head, I'd probably say that Whyte would win on points, but being knocked down on the way to points. Speaking to Lewis Van Poch, and Poch was, I said that to him. He said, if White's going down, he's getting knocked out. It's not a case of him getting back up, but it's just the way we've seen Whyte before, kind of get back up off in big fights. Against Oscar Rivas, against Joseph Parker. He didn't get up against Joshua, did he? He got stopped against Joshua and he was looking up at him. But I just have a feeling that it might eke out to points and it might actually be like a safety style approach, but Povetkin might catch him. But we'll see. Like, maybe I've just got that completely wrong. But it's one of those where I don't really want to predict it. I just want to sit back and enjoy. Last 2 minutes of the 4th round. The right hand lands for Campbell Hatton. Nearly said Ricky there. Misses with the right hand. Jesus Ruiz comes back with some volume. Both of them looking a bit tired. Right hand lands on the inside for Campbell Hatton. Ducks his head down. Blocks. Shoots a double jab. Gets back to the centre ring. Takes a 1-2. Heads meet there. Jesus Ruiz looking a bit ropey. Left hook lands to the body for Campbell Hatton. And they clinch. Under 2 minutes left for Campbell Hatton to stop his opponent here. Right hand to the body lands for Jesus Ruiz. That was a good shot. And a left hook up at top. Campbell was trying to ride it and shoot a right hand of his own. Uppercut lands for Campbell. Solid, hurtful shot there from Campbell Hatton to the body. 90 seconds left for Jesus Ruiz to eke this out. He was on the losing end of this, of course. Left hand lands there for for Campbell, and an uppercut. .60 seconds left. Left hook lands there for Campbell. That was a good shot. Just had the guard up and then exploded out the guard with a single shot. It was a good shot. Left hook to the body. And again from Jesus Ruiz. Campbell Hatton winging in a hook of his own. I remember this is one of those where, like, we talk about YouTube fighters and things like that, but oh, big body shot there for Campbell Hatton. 30 seconds left for Jesus Ruiz. And again. 20 seconds left. Jesus Ruiz is just going to see this out, I think. Jab to the body from Jesus. And a jab up top for Jesus again. 10 seconds. Don't think Campbell has the energy here to see this fight out. Or to see the stoppage out. And there it is. Bell for the final round rings, and Campbell Hatton will take the victory on points. Jesus Ruiz, tough, proven his toughness. Campbell will probably be disappointed, as a young guy would be, not to get a stoppage on your debut. You want to explode and have that over the headlines, but the most important thing is you don't lose. Not that losing is the worst thing in the world. Lots of fighters have lost, and then lots of fighters have lost on the debut and won titles. Johnny Nelson springs to mind as we're watching this on Sky Sports, but he's got the victory here. Morning, brother. I'm just at the gym, but we'll drive home to see the fight. Any idea roughly how far away? I should have responded. My bad. Let me see if I can respond. Let me get this back in here. But Campbell Hatton picks up the W. Oops. Well, he's got a win, actually. They haven't given the official result just yet. Just waiting for that result. Do you mind to just reading out the results? (40-36), all 4 rounds to Campbell Hatton. A successful debut for Campbell, who gets the victory over a tough Jesus Ruiz. So well done to Campbell Hatton. I'm just going to pop to the toilet. Whilst I'm doing that, let's get the old classic tie-in booth little video so I can have some time to just pop to the toilet quickly.
So when people talk about karma and all of attraction, this woman came round to my house one time. She's always going on about the universe. You know, she's always writing like Facebook statuses saying if you put this out into the universe will send this back to you. So I said to her, what do you know about the universe? What does E equals MC squared mean? And she was like, E equals M is the let me just have a look on Google. So I said, don't bother looking on Google. You tell me what E equals MC squared means. You're always going on about the universe. I've done a little open universe. I've done a little shit course. You know, physics. So I know what it means. What do you know about a proton? That's what I said to her. Or an electron.
Right, I'm back. I definitely haven't put myself on mute, which is always good. Does this work? See how good that was? Yeah, that gets me in full. Yeah, so last time around I put myself on mute, which was just make sure you're not hearing double of me. Yeah, there we go. Last time I put myself on mute, which was just a silly thing to do for like a couple of minutes. I once did it for like 30 minutes on my Amir Khan stream when he fought Billy Dib in Saudi Arabia. But I've avoided that rookie mistake. We'll get ourselves back on here. Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin heading the bill. Povetkin Whyte, I should say properly, as he's the winner of the fight last time round. A hellacious uppercut ending the fight, the Russian double, as it's called. Quality punch, which has caused us to have a rematch. We didn't know about the rematch, but we do now. Or did after the fight. And Povetkin, the WBC interim champion. Is it interim? It is interim, isn't it? Yeah. Interim champion and diamond belt holder. Now defends that status against Dillian Whyte. Let's have a quick look. You forget, it's really easy to forget what the hell's going on with the title status because there's just so much crap going on with them. Yeah, it is the interim world heavyweight title. Why we need an interim world heavyweight title when you've got fucking a full title holder? There's no interim to be talking about for either of these fighters to be an interim champion. It's just literally to satisfy the fighters and then put a WBC belt on there to kind of promote their own causes. The fundamentals need to be worked on naturally with Campbell Hatton, which they will do. It's alright me saying it, me sitting with a belly full of fucking chocolate chip orange cookies. But it's clear that Campbell Hatton, being a young fighter, needs to work on the fundamentals, needs to just slow down a bit. That's a type of fight you'd see on the white collar kind of scene, with two fighters just slugging out who've just prepared for like 6 weeks. I'm not saying that that's the case with Campbell. In fact, he's been pretty decent in amateur bouts. If you watch this clip of Campbell Hatton fighting, it's a spar, I think it is, against Danny Morrell, and he performed a lot better than he did in that spar than he did here. But there's a lot of stuff around that. I think Ricky's crying, is he? But yeah, there are little bits. They're not blagging that there. There are little bits from Campbell Hatton that you can take from that. Been stopped once, not never been stopped. So yeah, if I was betting, and I'm not betting, I'd be looking at Whyte to be knocked down and win on points. And I'd then be looking at as well Povetkin to win in rounds 7 to 12 or win on points. Maybe accumulation of some knockdowns. Later rounds, if Dillian Whyte chooses to be a bit more elusive, he's coming a little bit lighter, so the stoppage might come a little bit later for Alexander Povetkin. Excuse me. Eddie Hearn here talking about Campbell. 8 or 9 times a year. When and where? You're not going to put him out on every event, are you? He will get on, if Joshua Fury happens, he'll get on that event for sure. That's fair. Marathon, not a sprint. Those are good words there from Eddie. So a nice little moment there for Campbell Hatton and for Ricky. And it is unfair, the expectation that we... And even Matthew to a degree. Like I said earlier, Matthew was no slouch. So
good team around him, and it's going to be fun to see where
good stuff.
he take his pro career. But it's off to a good start. It was nice to get the W sorted out
What's next? Cheeseman Metcalf. Good fight this.
a little bit for the young man. Paul, you know Ricky so well. I've known him since he was a little lad. What did you like out of tonight, and what didn't you like out of tonight?
He picked the left hook to the body really well. In fact, his body shots in general, he picked them nicely. The defense was the issue, and he was quite open at times. And anyone more with a bit more ambition, a bit more nous about them than Jesus Ruiz would have put a bit of a dent in Campbell. He did catch him with a right hand. I think it was in the third round. But those body shots are nicely picked from Campbell. Good bits of work. There's that. That's a Ricky Hatton-esque left hook. There's a left. That jab coming in was a nice shot. That was Jesus Ruiz. And there's the left hook to the body right at the end in the fourth round. He sort of hurting from it before he even landed. He looks like Josh Warrington. Does anyone else see that? Didn't I see him looking like Josh Warrington?
Absolutely right. And somewhere right now, I'm sure Ricky Hatton is getting a beer in. And boy, has he deserved it as well. Well, two guys who are not getting the beers in just yet. Ted Cheeseman and JJ Metcalf, but one of them will be British super welterweight champion before this evening is over. Cheeseman has been there. Metcalf wants to be there. And this is a fight that has generated plenty of interest in the build-up as well. Something about putting a Lonsdale belt on the line that always brings the best out of a fighter, and this one promises to be a very good one indeed. Cheeseman and Metcalf for the British Super Welterweight title coming up right here on the Zone.
Got a RuneScape meme here. Who played RuneScape back in the day? Anyone?
We connect fans to the heart of sport on any device. Easily browse the DAZN schedule to see upcoming fights or catch up on recent events. Never miss a punch by setting reminders that are
Right, I'm back. Sorry, I was just checking my phone there.
navigate fight night with key moments. Replay the rounds or actions you want to see again and again. Watch over 30 years of archived fights, exclusive weekly boxing shows, and award-winning original documentary films.
See what peeps on Twitter are saying. Hatton looked gassed after that round from Andy Patterson. He looked gassed after the third, I think. Maybe the first as well. Not surprised, windmilling those left hooks. He's airing out that chin as well. Blowing his load before going for the KO like AJ. Corner could tell him to take a breath and set up shots. Yeah, but the youthful man in there, he's going to want to try and look to impress. To be fair, going the distance will be a good thing for him. Has to learn to get that chin protected. Looks average. You can't really say too much, to be fair, you know. Because it's just Oh, they got the picture of the cat. That's cute. What's that? A cake? The fucking bitch sent me a picture of a cake. Fuck off. Cheeky fucking... That cat looks cute, to be fair, can't lie. Meow meow.
What a night of boxing they are witnessing on the Rock of Gibraltar tonight. I don't think they've had a sporting event this big in this part of the world, maybe ever.
Povetkin Whyte. Shit match. If you're saying that this is takeover fight, it's rubbish. That's pure 50-50. Pure 50-50. Fair play to Dillian. He's been upset with me. He's been saying on Instagram, saying that I'm a wanker. for voicing my opinion, which is disappointing, honestly. I mean, listen, I'm Russian. I don't give a fuck. I won't be blowing your trumpet, my man. I'm going to tell you how it is. You like it or not like it. And you prefer me being honest for you telling that rather than, oh, Dillian, you're so amazing. Oh, you got knocked out, punch from gods. No, that was well prepared Russian school combination. Jab, sleep down, body shot. Then he saw the opening, bang, lights out. That's what it was.
Michael, I just wanted to know, you're highly rated within the WBO.
Yeah.
More high rated than Chris Congo, Lewis Crocker, high rated than Conor Benn would be in his IBF rankings. Why do you think you've had less of the spotlight than your domestic rivals, yet you're higher rated than them?
You got to know somebody in this game, haven't you? I've started from the very bottom, from a small fighting city really of Portsmouth, and I've had to do things the hard way. Like I've been the B-side many times before, like a couple of times before. I've fought for no money. I've came up the hard way with little publicity, and I wasn't a top amateur, which that didn't help me when I first turned pro. I wasn't a top amateur, so there's many reasons, but it just makes it even better that I'm finally where I want to be. My career starts on Saturday. That's how I'm seeing it. This is my golden ticket to change my life. Like beating Chris Congo could open up so many great opportunities for me, which that I need. So, but that's a must win. Like I've got to get the job done, and once I get that job done, then we can move on and talk about whoever's next.
Did I read correctly that you've got Ricky Hatton in your corner for this fight? Is that right?
Yeah, we've added in Rick just into the corner as a second, just for guidance and experience and help. Really, like I've got a pretty good relationship with Ricky. I've known him for a while when I spent a bit of time in Gorman's camp when he was part of that Hatton stable. So yeah, we've brought him in but purely just for a seconds and some eyes and some knowledge. And like I say, it's a step up in fight, it's a step up in class. So if there's any little helps and pointers he can give, it'd be great to have his advice there.
I told everyone about Cheeps we should react for. This is a bad fight. This is a bad fight to take when you are 5 minutes before being a mandatory. Why? Whoever thinks that Povetkin gonna bang out easily, I can guarantee you simply they don't understand boxing. Dillian Whyte, he fought Lucas Brown, stopped him with tremendous knockout. Then he fights Joseph Parker. Touch and go. If this longer round, it would have gone. It was very close. And he fights Chisora, losing whole fight and finding a left equalizer, the check which prevails. And then he fights Oscar Rivas, goes down, Oscar's bicep snaps, and Dillian wins it somehow. Mario Schwag, very poor. He just underestimated, but Marius really turned up and gave him assist. The competitive luck is running out. That's what I'm saying. Dillian is, unless he's absolutely ready for this fight mentally, physically, he's going, because Povetkin is old school operator.
Alright, then I'm back. We'll see what happens in the James Metcalf, Ted Cheeseman fight. As I said earlier, Bacon Air Max 90s just launched. What the fuck are they? The fuck is that? Kanye's Adidas Yeezy foam run has just dropped on the confirmed app. Who gives a shit, man? Nathan Gorman's beaten Pavel Sauer in 2 rounds. He wasn't haranguing around tonight. Fair play. Decent enough win for Nathan Gorman. Pavel Sauer isn't that great, but a stoppage win for Nathan Gorman is a bit more interesting considering his fight style. He had a shocker of a fight against Richard Latte, a real strange one. Tony Bellew, everyone's favourite. Tony Bellew, everyone's favourite. Cruiserweight slash heavyweight slash light heavy is saying Metcalf is a notoriously slow starter and could be 3 or 4 down here. But believe me, once he does get going, he takes some stopping. Cheeseman is a better boxer than fighter, but gets involved too much at times. I think this will be his undoing tonight. I think this will be a good fight. Tony Bellew has spoken. Hopefully we're now getting the ring walks for Ted Cheeseman and JJ Metcalf. We are. Looks a decent little arena there, to be fair. Looks more than 500 people. It's a lot more than 500. Not by much, but maybe like 700-800 maybe. Here comes Kid Shamrock, JJ Metcalf walking to the ring now. His dad Shane area. Do you know JJ Metcalf's dad was a fighter as well? Don't know if you knew that. I think every fucking knows that now. The amount of times it's been told. Scott Fitzgerald, #1, the greatest stops of the GOAT. Don't know if you hear when I said that earlier. I thought Ted Cheeseman beat Scott Fitzgerald, you know. If you were here before, I was saying, James, that there were a lot of people ringside with me when I was covering that fight for Boxing News TV. They were saying they were agreeing that that Ted Cheeseman was like 8 or 9 rounds up. Then Scott had that late burst in the last 3 or 4 rounds. And all of a sudden, people start saying, "Oh, it's a draw, or maybe Scott has won that fight by a round or 2." But I maintain that Ted Cheeseman beat Scott Fitzgerald that night. I haven't watched that fight back since. But look, Scott has done some dumb shit outside the ring. I don't know if his mental health has contributed to that or not, but he has had mental health issues as well, which obviously want him to get better from and be able to see him back in the ring. He should be back in the ring soon. Apparently there's some issues about his weight. I think we've tried to get the interview with him, but they're being quite coy with him. No man beats Fitzy. Madman Scott Fitzgerald. They've got to change that name from the Madman. I don't think it's a good look to have a fighter with not the best of mental health recently to be calling him the Madman. I think he's been diagnosed like a split personality disorder. So a boxer who's been diagnosed with a split personality disorder coming back into the ring, you'd think that the checks that the British Boxing Board of Control will be doing on Scott are stringent to ensure that he's, you know, in a good state mentally to be able to fight, not just physically but mentally, which would be the worry. I had it 116, 112 Fitzy, but I'm biased beyond belief. Are you from Scott Fitzgerald's from Preston, right? So I assume maybe you're from Preston. Loves drugs. He's okay, but he's got bad friends. Well, that's shite. That is. If it's the outside influences that are making him, you know, go astray, that's never good. At the end of the day, though, when you do that sort of stuff, you do have to take responsibility. And as you're saying here, sorted this problem out over the last 6 months, so he's taking responsibility for that. You gotta have, with fighting, generally everything has to be right, like at home as yourself as a person, before you can do the other stuff, before you can do fighting, because that stuff does seep in. Like your home stuff seeps into your performances when it comes to your fighting. Ted Cheeseman is living proof of that. In fact, we're talking about that, but Ted Cheeseman is living proof of that. The guy, he's clawed himself from, you know, debt and gambling problems, which affected his fighting style. He said he had that, you know, in the back of his mind in some of his defeats, like the Kieran Conway, the draw with Kieran Conway, sorry. Ted Cheeseman's a strange one, you know. I'm not like all aboard a hype train for Ted Cheeseman, but I'm definitely a Ted Cheeseman fan because every time he fights, it's a decent fight. And every time he fights, it's a talk. At least in the last string of fights, it's a talking point. Sergio Garcia, talking point. Kieran Conway, talking point. Scott Fitzgerald, talking point. Sam Eggington, talking point. And this is a guy who's sorted himself out as well with his own problems, the gambling addiction, the resentment for boxing, wanting to quit. I asked him at the matchroom press conference, I said to him, could you, if you lose, could you quit, essentially? And he was like coy about it. He's like, nah, I wouldn't quit, blah, blah, blah. But then when it came to the actual post-fight interview on Sky Sports, he was like, yeah, I was on the verge of quitting. I picked that up from him. I thought he might be thinking that sort of thing. So it was a real big fight from that Sam Eggington win. And Sam Eggington is one of them as well, who's you know, he put up a decent performance as well. He's not gonna be any big thing, but he's not been too well. But with Ted, look, this is a big fight for both of these gentlemen. I don't know. I can't really pick them, to be honest. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it. I think it goes the distance, but I can't really pick a winner. His area isn't even bad, but the next area is awful, so no surprise. Scott Fitzgerald is the only person worth anything from Preston. I have a mate who runs... Have you ever heard of UKFC? They do events in Preston and in Blackpool. Have you heard of UKFC? Have you ever been to a UKFC event? It's like an MMA event. My mate runs it. He's like the head of UKFC. That goes on in Preston quite a bit. The football team are alright. Like, I'm a Watford fan, as I said previously. Preston are... I can't remember where Preston are in the league, but they've had some decent players in the past. David Nugent being the one that sticks out to me the most. Is Ben Pearson there? Or has been there in the past? Not sure. Can't think of any former Preston players that played for us either. But I've never been there. I was going to go there. I bought a ticket for that UKFC. It cost me 50 quid. But I wasn't able to get there on the night, which was a shame. Ted Cheeseman, the big cheese. Ted Cheeseman is getting his introduction now. And the fans are going wild for Ted Cheeseman. They love Ted Cheeseman as well in Gibraltar. Never knew that. The Ted Cheeseman fan club must have been started in Gibraltar. Just that little size advantage there for Ted. James Metcalf looks like someone, and I can't put my finger on who is it. I can't put my finger on who it is. The big cheese embroidered on his trunks, and JJ Metcalf can't see the front of his trunks just yet. JJ Metcalf looked a bit like Phil Jones from the side there. Jab lands for Ted Cheeseman. JJ Metcalf looking a much more thicker fighter, more heavy set fighter. Double jab right hand there, blocked by JJ Metcalf. Left hook lands for... Looking sharp, to be fair. I know he's missed those fights, but those shots look very sharp from JJ. Right hand, left hook on the gloves. Metcalf slouching a bit as well, just changing his height. Jab, jab from James. And jabbing again. And now on the outside, stepping back to his left and his right. And then coming forward with a jab. An overhand right comes over that from Ted Cheeseman. Pick of the fight so far. We're only just a minute in. Heads going in on each other. Uppercut, nice uppercut on the inside lands for JJ Metcalf. And a jab and another one. And an uppercut on the inside again. The face is already reddening from Ted Cheeseman. Right hand over the top lands for Ted. 4-punch combination blocked by Ted. And the clinch. This is going to be a tough fight, I think, for Ted. Eventually, that guard's going to start slipping as JJ Metcalf lands on the arms and gloves of Cheeseman. And I think we'll see that head be pushed back quite a bit in towards the mid to later rounds. But a confident start by both men, to be fair. 50 seconds left of the first round. No one overawed by the occasion. Looking both kind of natural. Bit low there from JJ Metcalf. Ted didn't make any complaint about it. Catch and counter from Ted Cheeseman. Body shot lands for Ted. And as they exchange jabs. Feint there, and then a couple of uppercuts, but missed by Ted Cheeseman. Right hand over the top from Metcalf. First round, don't even know how to call that at all. Oh shit, your friend fights in UKFC. Well, there you go, James. So my mate, Jake Cross, I met him at a law firm I used to work for. He's the head, isn't he, of UKFC. They're trying to do a few more events. Obviously, they haven't been able to do events, what with the coronavirus and stuff. But he's doing some good stuff, Jake is, for the UKFC. I call him the Dana White of like Preston and Blackpool. Who's your fighter, by the way? Like, there's a couple of good fighters that have come through UKFC. That Mohamed Mokayev, I think he's in the UFC now, isn't he? Or he's gonna be in the UFC. I think he's fought in the UFC now, but he came through UKFC. That Mokayev. So not a bad little place, UKFC. Peston should be in the Prem. It's all the fault of the owner and advisor. Cancers to the club. It's a shame to hear. Top 6 in the lead up to 2 years in a row and fell apart because that's terrible. April through with a good card night. Uzbek card. Is that the Iwasa one? An MTK on YouTube. Courtney Bridges interests me. No idea who wins though. Shannon Courtney beats Ebony Bridges. Just a couple of levels above Ebony Bridges from what I've seen. And I was saying this earlier. Like, what if you know, Shannon chooses to land shots on particular parts of the body? What injuries could be caused there? Because I don't think implants are made to be. They're not sport ready, are they? As far as I'm aware. I might be completely wrong. Nice shot there. Uppercut on the inside. JJ Metcalf landed on Ted Cheeseman. Body shot lands for James Metcalf. Jab to the chest, Ted Cheeseman. Feints here and body movement from Ted. Uppercut lands for, well, just missed actually. Cheeseman now on the back foot. Picks a nice body shot just under the, just on the left side of the stomach, JJ. You don't get a lot out of JJ at all. When I was speaking to him, he just gave me like 1 or 2 word answers. It's quite frustrating. But he just seems all business. Left hook on the counter for Ted Cheeseman. Where's he looking there? That was a bit weird. Uppercut from JJ. Right hand. That's a nice uppercut at the end of the 3-punch combination for JJ Metcalf as he's just chilling and relaxing on the ropes there, looking comfortable. And they're separated by Ian John Lewis, the referee. He's a standing target at the moment. In his movement's a little more herky-jerky, Ted is. And picks a body shot, straight right hand to the body, and a right hand over the top, and then just disengages. Ooh, that's quality little movement there. I enjoyed watching that little phase of movement from JJ Metcalf. Jab to the body. Ted Cheeseman. Right hand for Ted Cheeseman. Hard to call these rounds, man. Fuck knows. If Bellu's right, saying is us. Like I said, fuck all your predictions. Me, my team, and my city knew. Dude, I predicted it as well, Michael. Come on, get out of here. Rob Tebbett saying good second round for Mana Cheese. Cheeseman switching stances during the ring walk. Ah, man, I really want to watch Lennox Clark versus Willie Hutchinson. I like Lennox. Limited fighter, but a fighter that brings it all the time. I quite like his attitude. I like his bravado. I like what he brings to the ring. I thought it was quite unfortunate against Lerone Richards. Again, I was there at Midlands Mayhem, and if he just started a little bit quicker, Lennox Clark, he could have sneaked a win against Lerone Richards. I managed to get into the dressing room at the end of it, and it was a weird environment. It wasn't as if they were. Lennox was gutted, but everyone else around him was quite happy because they were confident in the fact that they thought they won, and they have a claim to that because one of the judges saw it on the scorecards. But and he asked me after the fight, he goes, "Who do you think won?" And I told him straight. I said to him, I had that fight a draw, but I missed the 10th round. I went to the toilet. So I just said to him, from what I saw, I had it a draw. I since went and watched that fight back, and I believe that Lerone Richards won that 12th round. So just by a point, Lennox lost that fight, from what I saw. But I think Willie Hutchinson might do a big job on him, actually. Like, stopping him. My grandma thinks women in sports is a travesty. Why? Come on, man. Everyone should be able to have a shot at sports, whatever it is. Men, women, and whatever. Just part of the older generation. Big left hook there landing from Ted Cheeseman. Ishe Smith just... Metcalf takes a big shot there. He's now ducking and diving out the way. As the heads clashed. Left hook landed there to the body from JJ though in that exchange. A little cute shot there. Ishe Smith follows you on Instagram. Ishe was obviously in the Contender, which is a series I watched back in the day. I was going to do a Contender series, but it just took too much time, and I'm doing the Boxing News TV stuff at the moment. But I'm trying to land an interview with some of the other Contender people. Jesse Brinkley keeps messaging me, but they're not messaging me. It's really weird. And Ishe is someone I've been looking for as well. I've got another guy who I interviewed, right, from the Contender. It took me ages to pin him down. And I was badgering him every day, like, can we get an interview? He's like, oh, no, not today. But he wanted to give me the exclusive. Like, hasn't been interviewed for like 10 years. And I did the interview, and I couldn't put it out because the guy was like, I asked him about what happened in his career. Because he was destined for the top, and Stallone, I'm going to give it away here, but Stallone like took him under his management, wanted to get him into movies, really saw something big in him. But he had his wife at the time who, from his point of view, really fucked him over. And I was talking about like what happened there. He was like, oh, if I ever saw my wife, I'm going to this. I'm not going to repeat it here. And I was like, fucking hell. Like, and I spoke to a couple of people, and they were like, yeah, you can't put that out. You got to do that again. So I said to him, look, Ahmed, and I've given away the fucking name. Fucking hell, what am I doing? But I said to him, I said, look, we're going to need to do this again, but we'll do it properly. He goes, yeah, I want to do it properly as well. Like, I understand that, and I want you to do the interview. People have approached me before to do like documentaries and stuff with me, but I want you to do it. But I haven't been able to pin him down. He's quite elusive to pin down. But he's got a great story, and at some point I'll get it sorted. It took me ages to track that down. It literally took me a year to track him down and get his number because he just disappeared off social media completely. He's back on now, which is good. But I'll try and track him down again for the proper interview. Ishe seems very open, always there to help. Yeah, at some point I will get him. It'd be good if I can get like because I've done Alfonso Gomez, I've done Jonathan Reed, I'll do Ahmed, I'll do Jesse Brinkley. It'd be good if I can get them all in at one point and just to talk and chat, I think. But yeah, it might be best for me to message him on Instagram at some point and speak to him. I think I did message him on Facebook actually, but he didn't respond. But yeah, eventually I'll get Ishe and. To be fair, when I spoke to Ahmed, he was like they had that little bit of a blood boil between them both, and Ahmed said like, "Oh, if I fought him now, I'd beat him." He was like respectful of like what they're doing, and understood that they were getting camera time for their feud. But Ahmed fucking told me he got like stabbed and left for dead not so long ago because he was. I think he's still like, or he could have fought a few times, and I was like, "How come you haven't fought since?" And like, he was saying, "Yeah, I got stabbed, and I can't lift my arm up, one of my arms up above my head, and basically got left in a pool of blood, left to die, and like doctor saved him basically, so he can't fight anymore because he can't lift his arm above his head anymore. But he's a proper like character in the craziest sort of sense, in the roughest sort of sense, in the sort of like." In a nice way as well. Like he's a kind and caring guy, but I think sometimes he misplaces his care for and puts it in with aggression. But as someone I definitely want to pin down for the interview, he is Ahmed. Especially, he told me he's got a big right hand there for Ted Cheeseman, and again he's got Metcalf in trouble. A third right hand and a fourth left hook right hand. Ted Cheeseman senses the finish here. Oh, Metcalf is in a big trouble. He's firing back right hand again and again. Uppercut. He's in all sorts of trouble here. And again, the ref's not looking like stopping this, but he should be because he's taken 6-7 clean shots. The referee should be close. Uppercut again. The defenses have completely abandoned JJ Metcalf, who's just sipping big shots. Ted Cheeseman's just tired. He just blew his cannon there. And he's not able to push the finish here. Uppercut misses. Right hand lands for Ted. JJ Metcalf weathered that storm. Didn't weather the storm. He took that storm straight on his fucking head and on his chin. There's a left hand lands again. There's too much pride here. He should be clinching as opposed to trying to fight him off. And the bell for that round rings, and yeah, the storm straight on his. He took that straight in his face by Ted. What a round for Ted Cheeseman. Everyone I've seen from the contender had a weird career from what I've seen. Mora, Mosley Jr., Manfredo. Mosley Jr.'s had a weird career in general. He's been picked up by Golden Boy now, and they might try and put some gas into him. Maybe manufacture him a shitty little title. Mora, a world title and his world champion in his own right. Alfonso Gomez beat a legend in the sport and fought fucking great fighters. Alfonso Gomez fought Canelo. Alfonso Gomez fought Arturo Gatti. Beat Arturo Gatti, and yeah, you know, a shadow of the Arturo Gatti we've seen before in classic fights, but. Dealers across the road just came back home in the Porsche. But yeah, weird. Manfredo got that fight against Joe Calzaghe. Ishmael Smith won a world title, didn't he? Jesse Brinkley was like a NABF champion. Who else was on there? That Joey Gilbert went on to have a law career, and he's like doing all sorts of campaigning for like the blue side in America, doing like protests and shit like that. Joey Gilbert's a bit of a strange character as well. But yeah, Ahmed was supposed to be in like he was telling me about. He's got this picture of him, Sylvester Stallone, and Burt fucking Reynolds, and they're all like eating at this restaurant. Like they were trying to get Ahmed in a movie with Burt, or like some sort of like project with Burt. Stone was trying to get that for him, and he was on the cusp of getting those sort of things. But what happened with him with his wife just kind of really fucked him over. Literally on the cusp of like some big stuff and how your life changes in an instant. But he is a hothead type of character, and the cookie would have crumbled, I think, at any point anyway with Ahmed. But he was telling me like about his wife, like, you know, cheating on him and like meeting up with these like millionaires and billionaires, telling him that he was out the city, but she was in the city meeting up with these guys and stuff, like crazy stuff. I'll have to save all this stuff for when I eventually do the interview with him. I've got it somewhere, the first interview, but I cannot release it. Five or 12, Metcalf on the front foot, but still taking shots. Cheeseman looking really good, man. Those Tony Sims fighters, they fucking improve, man. And Cheeseman's just improved and improved. Takes a few shots out, an uppercut in the right hand, though. Right hand for Ted, and again over the guard. Jab to the body. Left hook for Ted. Right hand lands for JJ Metcalf. Bell for that round rings. William Wallace saying, I'm back. Good to see you, William. What's the situation ETA on the Russian Ninja? So it's going to be, we've got this fight, Cheeseman versus Metcalf. Then we got Fabio Wardy versus Eric Molina. Then we got Whyte versus Povetkin. I think around 10. So basically about 50 minutes. Maybe just a bit over that. And we'll get Povetkin versus Whyte. But good to have you guys in here. I appreciate you guys keeping me company. I'll be live on the Boxing Asylum. Well, sorry, I will be live in the chat at the Boxing Asylum straight after this as well. So do pop over to the Boxing Asylum post-fight show. I might even call in after. Depends how knackered I am. 2018-19, I watched so much old boxing on YouTube. Seen almost every important fight from mid-90s to 2010. See, I need to do that, James, as well, because admittedly, I didn't grow up watching boxing. Like, none of my family were into boxing at all. I heard about Naz and things like that, but Amir Khan really was the fighter that got me interested in boxing, but I didn't really follow boxing outside of Amir Khan fights. And then when I went to uni, I used to stay up and watch. Naturally, I followed like the big fights like Mayweather and Hatton and stuff like that. But when I went to uni and you need stuff on, especially late at night if you're doing revision or your uni pattern's fucked up, I was watching wrestling. I was watching and like I saw boxing on, and I started watching like just random boxing events. And I remember watching like Golovkin fights back in like 2012 or something like that, like this 2012-2014 period. Golovkin fights, like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fights. Just got Cheeseman and Metcalf still 2 minutes left of the 6th round to go. Jabs from Ted Cheeseman. Yeah, I was watching those fights, and I slowly got more into it. And it was really until Froch and Groves happened, and you know the explosion of what happened with after that fight, that I kind of started falling more and more into boxing, more deeper into boxing. And at that time, I was looking for a podcast to listen to, and then I started listening to a Boxing Asylum podcast. And I was listening to it on and off until I started commuting for a job from Birmingham to Manchester every day. I was like, I need a podcast that I can listen to in bits where I fall asleep to it whilst I'm on my commute. And, you know, they're not like wiling out or shouting, because too many podcasts like fucking shout over nothing for no reason. But they just talk about whatever it is. They're chill about it. They don't talk bullshit. Get good guests on, have good opinions. And it was Boxing Asylum, and nice little shot there from JJ Metcalf. think the right eye's... yeah, it's the right eye's cut maybe from Ted. 59 seconds of the 6th round. They're both in the clinch. So yeah, then I started getting more and more into the sport. But there are a lot of fights and a lot of careers I have not seen and I need to see. And what I do is big right hand. They landed from Ted. Over the top with a left hook from JJ Metcalf. There are a lot of fights and a lot of fighters I haven't seen careers of. I need to watch back. I watched back quite a lot of Naz's career. I've watched back quite a lot of some of the Klitschko career, which wasn't too great to watch. I've watched back some other odd fights. Like I was watching back Rafael Limon versus Bobby Chacon, and they had 4 fights, but only 3 of them are available on YouTube, and they were really enjoyable. Great little quadrilogy of fights, but you only get to see 3 of them, but great little trilogy. Watching back some Matthew Saad Mohammed off of the recommendation of Steve. Gatti Ward's naturally, but I need to look at more careers. I was like single focus on the career fighters to get back in touch with, not in touch, but know more about other fighters of the past. So I'm very much current right now, but still looking to improve my knowledge of the past fighters. Yeah, none of my family's into any sports though, so it's only about... Yeah, so you're pretty much the same as me, James, except you were a bit younger. I kind of got into boxing properly when I was about 21, 22. But yeah, similar sort of scenario. My dad really doesn't like boxing. He's like, he watched boxing for a bit, but then he's like, because he's a doctor, he says that's enough seeing people punching each other in the head, because he doesn't like seeing, like, I think he watched Ali when he was younger, and seeing Ali, what he turned into late in his life, he just really doesn't like that. So you can only watch so much boxing. I haven't watched a boxing fight with my dad since a Khan fight, I think it was, because he just doesn't like it. Like, obviously he'll see it from a doctor's perspective, what with the damage you're taking to your head. My uncle loves Burt Reynolds movies. I've seen a couple. Go on the call, Ames. Maybe, it depends. I probably won't be needed. There'll be a lot of people on the call anyway. So, but if I see a spot where I can chat about something maybe I saw, then I'll pop on. But I'll be doing my wrench duties. They got me on the spanner, so I'll be smacking any ne'er-do-wells in the chat with the spanner. 7th of 12, Ted Cheeseman, seemingly in the ascendancy, has had the overhand right lands there from JJ Metcalf, as I was about to say that Ted Cheeseman, and again the same shot lands as I was about to say Ted Cheeseman having the most success of the fight, and he has in that single round, the 5th round, where JJ Metcalf looked in a lot of trouble. One, two, three, four, five, 6 punch combination. 3 punches landed. The combination from Ted Cheeseman. Uppercut being the pick of the punches in that combination from Ted. Peach of an uppercut lands. Nice little short one from Ted Cheeseman. Right hand there for Ted. Blocked by JJ. Oh, big right hand for James Metcalf. And Ted's in a world of hurt here. That was a solid shot and Ted's in trouble. Left hook. Oh, big shot. He picked a peach of a punch there, JJ Metcalf. And Ted just weathered it. But he looked like he was shaken to the core there, Ted Cheeseman. What a solid shot that was. Ted's still feeling the effects of it because he's not coming forward with the shot. He's just choosing to stay out of range. Right hand there from Ted Cheeseman's 1-2 down the pipe. The 2 landed more than the 1 did, but the 1 set up the 2. Feint from Ted, and again. Double jab in return from uppercut lands again. Short little uppercut from Ted Cheeseman. Eats a left hook to the body in return. Jab there from Metcalf, and again exchange. And JJ Metcalf just getting off in the ascendancy there. Big shot. He's bleeding from the nose and from the cut on just around the right eye. I started properly watching Boxing Weekly with Bellew Flores. Embarrassingly enough, James, right? The first fight I went to was a shocking card, but a lot of stars were on. Well, a lot of good names were on the card. So it was called Collision Course. I mean, all fucking boxing events are called Collision Course, aren't they? Right? It's like one of the most used boxing monikers for like a fight when it comes up, Collision Course. But it was a bit... Bellew was fighting like a Uruguayan or an Argentinian, and Nathan Cleverly was fighting some Uruguayan or Argentinian on the card as well. And it was like, if Bellew and Cleverly win, they'll get the rematch, and Bellew and Cleverly both won their fights. And yeah, I think it was interesting because it was at the Liverpool Arena, Echo Arena, right? So you think everyone would be out there in force for Tony Bellew, but Anthony Joshua was on the card. He fought Matt Skelton, and everyone was there, packed out. Not packed out, but it was about just over half full, maybe 70% full. When Anthony Joshua came, everyone was out to see Anthony Joshua. You think they stayed for Tony Bellew, but they left. They fucked off, and about half of the people was stayed there for the Tony Bellew fight, which is really interesting. But yeah, that was the first card I went to. But it was a Bellew card. Marquez Pacquiao. Yeah, I've seen a few of the Marquez Pacquiao fights. I've seen the fought 4 times, haven't I? I've seen 3 of them. Marquez Vasquez. I haven't seen Marquez Vasquez. Steve told me about that. Nishioka Sahaprom. Haven't seen it. Superb quadrilogies. Yeah. I really think the Mike Alvarado, Brandon Rios is quite an underrated trilogy. I really enjoyed those three fights from both of them. Brandon Rios won the first one, Alvarado won the second one, and then Brandon Rios won the third one. But I really enjoyed that trilogy. One of the better trilogies of the last few years from both those men. But yeah, I have watched back fights like Provodnikov versus Bradley, which was... It's crazy how Bradley was standing up to those punches and didn't go down until the 12th round. Chris Algieri versus Ruslan Provodnikov, again, is a very underrated performance for me. I thought after that first round, Chris Algieri adapted well with a fucking completely swollen eye to win on points against Ruslan Provodnikov. It's ridiculous how you can do that. But he did that. It was a brilliant performance from Chris, especially after he had to adapt with one eye. 30 seconds left of the 8th round. I watched James Toney versus Vasily Giro. James Toney is someone whose career I want to watch like completely. I watched a number of the Roy Jones Jr. fights. I watched the Tarver fights are the ones I've seen. The one where Tarver knocked him out was just a bit sad, to be honest with you. To see that happen. But Tony's career is a career I want to watch properly and really get a feel of the unique style that Tony brought to the ring. Naturally, I've watched your likes Ali Foreman, Ali Frazier. You know, I love the Ali interviews with Parkinson as well. But there are a lot of gaps that I need to fill up as well. I have the current knowledge, I suppose, with some of what's going on, which I need to improve on still. There's a lot of like smaller hall fighters that I need to know more about. But big left hook there we're getting a replay of. But yeah, lots of fighters I need to check back on and watch. First boxing event 2 was Liam Conroy versus Michael Shinkwin for the English light heavyweight belt. Catterall, Garrett, Declan Garrity, Lawrence Asweke on the undercard. Lawrence Asweke, did he fight? No, that was Ricky Summers, Dan Aziz. I watched Sucker recently. He was on one of the Bills was only recently on BT Sport. Catterall's decent fighter. Declan Geraghty gets his opportunity. He gets beat up, doesn't he, by those kind of Archie Sharps of the worlds. But he's all right, to be fair. Let's try. I'm gonna see who's on that bill for a Bellew boxer. I can't remember who fought. I want to say the name's Nascimento, but I don't know if it is. Left hook lands for JJ Metcalf, head and body. Right hand to the body from Ted. Ted looking a little bit not ropey, but like he's in the descendancy and JJ Metcalf is in the ascendancy. And this is JJ Metcalf's arena now. Uppercut lands, short uppercut lands for for Ted Cheeseman. I'm getting the names wrong. So look, Tony Bellew, Ivica Bakarin, that was the name. I'm pretty sure that's the name. Let's have a quick look. No, it weren't. It weren't Bakarin. What's the name? Julio Cesar dos Santos. That sounds about right. Yeah, so here you go. The names at the time, you had Gamal Yafai, Anthony Agogo, Anthony Joshua, Luke Campbell, Callum Smith, Tony Bellew, Rocky Fielding, Nathan Cleverly. Stephen Smith was on there as well, so a good name kind of card with some fighters who were at the time expected to kind of maybe do some stuff in the sport. Anthony Gogo being one of them. Luke Campbell, one of them. A shame what happened with the Gogo, with that eye injury. I watched that fight back not so long ago. He's in wrestling now. He's in AEW. Anthony is. I think he's more of a on-screen kind of talking head as opposed to going to be wrestling, because he can't. I don't think he's got full vision out of that damaged eye. But it was a shame what happened with him in that fight against Craig Cunningham. A really likable fellow, Anthony Gogo is as well. Cheeseman pushing back JJ Metcalf, just not landing as much as he was beforehand. Cheeseman is 17 seconds of the 9th. Left to go. The power's just gone, it seems, from Ted's punches. Seen a few Mick Hall fights live. He's always in town working. What does he work as? Can't remember off the top of my head if I've seen Mick Hall fight. Yeah, I thought I'd recognised the name. I thought in the back of my head I might have seen him fight. It's Denzel Bentley. Yeah. Remember seeing him fight that. It's Surgeon Bomber he fought before. Surgeon Bomber is a decent sort of test. Jack Armfield. Yeah, I would have seen him in that fight against Denzel Bentley. That's where I remember the name. But I hadn't seen too much of him. Ten or 12. 2 minutes 50 on the clock. JJ Metcalf trying to wing in some big shots and catch Cheeseman with a big one. Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut again from Ted. Triple one of the second punch landed the best. Uppercut again from Ted Cheeseman. He's trying to fight off JJ Metcalf now. And this is Metcalf's zone here. These last few rounds. Right hand down to the body from Cheeseman. Takes a right hand and return up top. Left hook in the corner. Both these men just smothering their own work. Uppercut to the body from Ted Cheeseman. Trapping JJ Metcalf in the corner, pushing him back. Heads going in. Right hand lands for JJ Metcalf. Eats a left hook in return. Left hook, right hand combination from Ted Cheeseman. And now JJ Metcalf is able to eke his way out that corner. Left hook, right hand to the, up top. Then left hook to the body from Ted Cheeseman. Left hook on the gloves. Big right hand for Ted. Uppercuts for JJ Metcalf. And a clinch. Ted just taking this round away after JJ was in a bit of a on the up. Body shot landed solidly for Ted Cheeseman. And JJ Metcalf just kind of bent over a little bit more as he took that body shot. Oh, big shot there for JJ. Winged that one in, kind of like an uppercut hook. Stance switch here from JJ. Switches back to orthodox. But still on the ropes. Ted's easily able to pin him around. Less movement here from JJ, who's slowed down. Needs a second or third wind. 10 seconds left of the 10th. And there it is. A swelling under the left eye, JJ Metcalf bruising under there. And a cut for Cheeseman on his, under his right. He's got his own company, Mick Hall Limited, Brick Lane and Odd Jobs. I think Ted Cheeseman's got his own construction as well. A lot of these fighters have got businesses on the side, haven't they? And Fowler was saying that he doesn't have to box really. All his businesses are doing as well. Naturally, his CBD is doing well. But it was like a critical year for him, he was saying. And because his businesses are doing as well, so well, technically he doesn't really have to box. So it's like if it's going to happen for him, it's going to happen or start happening for him now this year. But a lot of fighters have got those businesses on the side, and it's good. At least they're not, like in the old days where they used to get the money, spend the money, and end up broke. Rocky Lockridge being an example I was reading about earlier and watching that intervention episode where Rocky Lockridge was that famous clip of that crying man who puts out a massive cry, and it got like auto-tuned and people were making a joke out of it. And admittedly, I was one of those people that never knew that it was Rocky Lockridge, a former fucking world champion, in that video who just gone from the highest of the sports, people calling him hey champ, to the bottom of the barrel looking for coke or whatever it is and begging on the streets for a bit of money to feed his habit, and died that way. But it's good to see generally fighters these days invest in what they get into putting businesses for themselves, into business for themselves and their family, so that when they finish the sport, they've got something to. Carl Fox is a good example. He's doing construction as well, or like housing or whatever it is, properties. I know it's a bit of a joke made of it, but even Dave Allen, to an extent, who's been buying houses off of the back of his purses, so as opposed to gambling it away or whatever it is. So it's a good thing. Jab, 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 jab from JJ Metcalf. Right, attempted right hand over the top, misses for Ted, but left hook to the body lands, shoveling uppercut to the body from Ted Cheeseman. Great work. Head to heads, body shots from Ted, left and right hands. Oh, short little left hook there from Ted Cheeseman. Under 1 minute left of the 11th round. 1 full round left to go. Body shot from James Metcalf. Sunk in nicely for him. Ted just awkwarding this out and smothering a bit of JJ's work. Uppercut lands for Cheeseman. Left hook. He takes a left hook though in return. Oh, takes a big right hand from JJ Metcalf. Cheeseman's still on the front foot, but he's taking a couple of shots here. Ate a big right hand. One straight low from Metcalf. Metcalf took a right hand to the body in return. 15 seconds left of this 11th round. And Cheeseman still coming forward, and a big body shot there from Ted as well. Right hand there for Cheese. And again for Cheese. And he's hurt JJ Metcalf. And Metcalf is down. Left hook. I don't think he's getting up. His legs are... He's not getting up. He's not getting up. His legs are all... Oh, yeah, he's done. He's done. Oh, no. Yeah, he's absolutely off his feet. What a freaking shot that was from Ted Cheeseman, who Nigel bend his way to the win there. Took a massive shot and then delivered a massive one in return. And this is why I was saying to Steve yesterday, I'm becoming a fan of Ted Cheeseman. He's always in good fights, interesting fights, always a talking point type of fighter, and has clawed his way from rock bottom now to getting back his British title, which he lost in contentious-ish, depends if you're on my side or James's side, circumstances. But a good win for Ted Cheeseman there, who will now look to step up forward and maybe avenge that Sergio Garcia defeat, or look forward and try to get a bigger opportunity where there are good fighters in that division, but an improved Ted Cheeseman. It has to be said, an improved Ted Cheeseman. Yes, he still takes shots and big shots, proving he's got a chin, I suppose, but definite improvements in Ted, and big up Ted for the win there. In one where he wasn't the favourite at all either, and he's closed the show. We need boxing back at the Guild Hall. Hope Steve Wood listens. Boynage saying, will you show the fight footage? No, I can't, mate. Otherwise I get shut down. Sorry, pal. Feel free to like and subscribe on the way out, though, if you want to help me out. Fight lag massively. Finally got an okay stream. Big shot, though, from Ted. Fucking hell. Watch that back, James, because he took a massive shot. And then smashed him with a right hand. It was a left hook, I think it was. I'm fully on that Cheeseman bus, man. Not that I'm saying he's gonna, be big things in the sport or win a world title either, but just him as a fighter in general. The story's good, the way he fights is good. Coming back from adversity, we talk about adversity for fighters, but an improved fighter, Tony Sims and that gym know how to improve their fighters, and he's done that. He's improved since his losses. Come back from the depths, and a big win for the Cheese. Here we go. Here's the replay. Right hand there for Ted Cheeseman. But he's about to ship a big shot here. Oh, no, it's before. He's took it before. But it's a right hand over the top and then the left hook. But where's that big shot beforehand? I want to see that big shot beforehand. No, they're not showing it. Right, on the ear is all that right hand was. And then a big round and another one. That you can tell by the feet that he's just done. I don't know why the referees... Yeah, there's no need for the referee to administer the count at all there. Fair enough, he's given an opportunity, but not a chance needed. Fair fox to JJ Metcalf for trying it. He gave him every opportunity, but that count was just Useless count. See there, he sees it right there. He sees the opportunity to finish it off this time round for Ted Cheeseman. Fucking hell. And the head snapped back as well when he landed on the canvas for JJ. So hopefully he's okay. But big explosion of emotion for Ted Cheeseman, who picks up the victory over JJ Metcalf and wins back his British title that I believe he never lost. But he's won it back now. Anyone watching UFC tonight? You got Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou. I expect Stipe Miocic to beat Francis Ngannou. I think after one round, if Stipe Miocic sees through the first round well, then it pretty much goes into his hands. There's a clap going round, so Metcalf seems okay. I'd rather just pay for individual sports than the entire Sky BT package. This is pay-per-view, so it's even. I'm not even watching football as much as I usually do. I'm not even bothered about like Premier League. I haven't really even been watching. I only really follow Watford whenever Watford play, and to be honest with you, I've not really followed much Watford games. I do keep up with it, but I'm not as bothered about watching it as much as I have been. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't watch any other sports. I'm not really into cricket. I'm not into Formula 1. Tennis I like Wimbledon. I like my UFC. I like watching a bit of wrestling every now and again. WWE's been shit the past couple of years, but it ebbs and flows. I used to watch it as a kid, so it's a nice enough entertainment. I don't really watch basketball, you know. But you might get your wish if Eddie Hearn sends Matchroom over to DAZN. That's the word, that he's moving over to DAZN in June. So Callie Sowland has some sort of announcement to make to become one. What does that mean? Does that mean that maybe Callie Sowland joins with Matchroom, and then Matchroom have a little smaller arm headed by Callie Sowland, and they look after the Sky Sports kind of fights with Callie Sowland at the helm, and the bigger arm of Matchroom go over to DAZN. That way they've still got Matchroom there and can still pull in Eddie there for some bigger fights. But Callie Sowland is the lead head there. It's Callie Sowland's announcement about something else completely. What is it about there? William Wallace is back again. W Wallace 0071, good to see you back in here. I should be able to find a nice Twitch stream when fight starts if you want me to post in here whilst listening to you. I don't know if you can post it in here. I don't know what happens if you post it. I like Cheese. Get him back in Fitzy in a bit. Yeah, I think they want Fitz to have like a touch, like good, decent touch, soft touch, sorry, type of fight, and then get back in with Fowler, I think. He's crying. Ted Cheeseman is what I like, Ted. To be fair, I'm proper in with Ted. I beat Kieran Conway. I beat Scott Fitzgerald. I beat Sam Egerton. Now I've just beat JJ Metcalf. They line back in like 3-4 years ago. Eddie Hearn was saying Ted Cheeseman, like in the list of names of like potential pay-per-view stars, him, Conor Benn, Anthony Fowler, Josh Kelly, Joshua Braxey. Now you can tell from that sort of list who's still in contention and who's fallen by the wayside. Not that Ted Cheeseman might get there or not, forget about that, but that's where they had Matchroom had Ted Cheeseman in their eyes. But he's back in love with the sport and getting his opportunity. So I'm aboard the Ted Cheeseman train. He's got my full support, man. Can't help but like Ted Cheeseman. I love fucking cheese. Only use the Twitch stream for Inouye Janair. Once I get my once I get my computer sorted. Where is it? I got my CPU here. I shelled out like 650 quid for this bad boy. Once I got my, and just need to get the GPU sorted and like monitor and keyboard and like the peripheral kind of stuff. But once I get my GPU sorted, I'll be bringing bigger and better streams. Trying to do it on Twitch as well. I can't wait to get it sorted and get it done and get this levels above what's out there at the moment. Need massive midweek events back in Asia. Well, like in Inouye Janair and that sort of stuff. Tanaka versus Yoka. He's Sparko there. Wow, yeah, he was absolutely knocked out. Count unneeded. Watch UFC pretty much every week, but got too much work tomorrow. Have to sleep. Yeah, unfortunate. What course are you doing, by the way, James? Yeah, priorities there. Watch it back. There's a place, if you type in watch wrestling, you'll be able to find a full replay for you ready there, so you don't have to look at any spoilers. Football and cricket for me. Cricket is great for midweek or end of day sports. Always liked it anyway. Cricket's one of those things where I prefer playing cricket than watching cricket. I remember when my dad was trying to go to a cricket event and he wanted someone to go with, and he asked me and my brother was like, "Nah, I don't like cricket." And I said, "All right, I'll go with you." And it was better watching it, to be fair, in person at Edgbaston. It got washed out, which was fucking shit as well. So we got like some of our money back. But it was better watching it live than it was watching it at home. But it's better playing it than anything, I think. Arcadia saying, "Oh, hello," in Rob's voice. Oh, hello to you, Rob. Hello, mate. How's it going, mate? Ted Cheeseman hype train all aboard. Choo choo. And he's got one over on Big Frank. That's what the biggest thing is. Eddie Hearn will be well happy to have got one over on Big Frank Warren. So I'm sure that will come out in the interviews in the coming week. You know Eddie Hearn will like to dig, as they both like to dig with each other. At least we didn't have to get a sit-down fucking restaurant meeting between the two of them to get a fight that pitted against two opposing factions or promotions fighters. More of the same, please, because that was a good fight, and if there's more to come of that where there's cross promotion, then great. Paul Smith just cutting it up and saying he's old man Ted Cheeseman and getting a devastating knockout. I don't think old man him's a bit. I don't think that's quite right. The opportunity was there in the 5th round, and he just couldn't quite seize it because Metcalf had a bit more left in the tank, but he took him to those championship rounds and he fully poleaxed him, man. Forget that. Solid performance from Ted Cheeseman. Only 25 as well. He's like Hughie Fury in a sense that it feels like he's been around for fucking ages. But he's still 25 years old, so not even in his prime yet. 5 years left to go before he gets near his prime. Cheeseman versus Fowler will be a good fight. Who else you got? We're just seeing Fowler Fitzgerald. I think is the obvious one to make, especially as they haven't drawn the line under that, which is well, to be fair with you, like I just think like for the sake of Anthony Fowler's career, just fuck off the Fitzgerald fight. It'll always be there. Just do your own thing. Like you've held up your career enough, because when you're Fowler, in the time that Scott Fitzgerald has been out of the ring, he should have been in the ring and have surpassed Fowler in levels if he's going to go anywhere in his career. Rather, he's just stuck around fighting the Tetes on roller skates or Adam Harpers who had like brain scans and brain damage and things like that, or whatever it was. You don't leapfrog anyone by fighting those type of fighters. You don't get anywhere. So in that time, he should have been fighting better opponents and pushing on with his career, but he didn't. And he's in a similar sort of position when Scott Fitzgerald comes back, really. And he shouldn't be. But yeah, get us that Fowler fight with Ted Cheeseman. That would be enjoyable. I think Troy Williamson and Kieran Smith are fighting a final eliminator for the British super welterweight title. So Ted Cheeseman versus Troy Williamson. I think Ted beats Troy Williamson. I think he knocks him out, like middle to late rounds. A cross promotion fight with Hamza Shiraz. Ted Cheeseman and Hamza Shiraz. Don't think Hamza's ready for that. Ted Cheeseman's much more experienced. Hamza's might have a bit of a size advantage over Ted, but I think Ted's a more fully fleshed kind of super welter. Hamza has to kind of kill himself to get down to that weight. But maybe like a Jack Corkai or something like that. I'm looking at the rankings now. Kieran Conway again, if he wants to avenge that, but he's above that now. Leheraga's fighting someone, I can't remember who it is. Ted Cheeseman, Liam Smith, but I think they're trying to do that Kurbanov fight, make that a final eliminator, and then fight for the WBO. Brian Castano beating Patrick Teixeira last time around, so Liam Smith don't make much sense. Maybe Fowler is the right move. Next is Fabio Warding and Eric Molina. Fabio, decent fella. Should be a good fight. Good enough test for him. I was supposed to fight Lucas Brown, but that fight didn't materialise. I'm just going to quickly pop to the toilet, so I'm going to run one of these little promos whilst we're waiting. Should you win at the weekend, Dillian, what is the situation with the title shot you were looking for? Do you expect to have to wait, or would you expect the WBC to acknowledge from what your perspective at the time was, at the time that you had before, to wait for that title?
They better fucking acknowledge I've waited long enough, you know, and the manager situation is still going on. Povetkin is in contract. It's not like I've lost someone and no, it's still a contract. So the manager position is just on hold at the minute. So the winner of this fight should just be managed and should be in line for the title fight next. Hopefully they have to wait 1,000 days again, whatever it was.
Did I read correctly that you've got Ricky Hatton in your corner for this fight? Is that right?
Yeah, we've added in Rick just into the corner as a second, just for guidance and experience and help. Really, like I've got a pretty good relationship with Ricky. I've known him for a while when I spent a bit of time in Gorman's camp when he was part of that Hatton stable. So yeah, we've brought him in, but purely just for seconds and some eyes and some knowledge. And like I say, it's a step up in fight, it's a step up in class. So if there's any little helps and pointers he can give, it'd be great to have his advice there.
Povetkin Whyte, shit match. If you're saying that this is takeover fight, it's rubbish. That's pure 50-50. Pure 50-50. Fair play to Dillian. He's been upset with me. He's been saying on Instagram, saying that I'm a wanker for voicing my opinion, which is disappointing, honestly. I mean, listen, I'm Russian. I don't give a fuck. I won't be blowing your trumpet, my man. I'm going to tell you how it is. You like it or not like it. And you prefer me being honest for you telling that rather than, oh, Dillian, you're so amazing. Oh, you got knocked out, punch from gods. No, that was well prepared Russian school combination, jab, sleep down, body shot. Then he saw the opening, bang, lights out. That's what it was.
Right, I'm back. Sorry, I just went to the toilet there. WLS007 saying 71 saying, holy shiznit, did you actually do an interview with Whyte via stream? Nice. Yeah, so because they're not doing the press conferences, you know, where you can go to the press conferences and interview people and that, because of the coronavirus. They're doing these like Matchroom are doing these Zoom press conferences, and because I interview for Boxing News TV, I was able to get a place on the press conference, and you have to like kind of like wait your turn-ish kind of thing with the Zoom press conferences, like to ask questions and stuff. And there are a lot of people you're ahead of you, like national news outlets, paper outlets and stuff, bigger YouTube channels like Seconds Out or Boxing Social or whatever it is. And I managed to build a decent rapport with Matchroom where I can answer a couple of questions with some of the bigger fighters, and then like also I ask all questions to all fighters, because I'm not here to just get interviews with the big fighters or anything like that. I want to interview everyone and anyone. That's kind of my attitude. That way I learn, that way I get to know more about fighters, touch base with fighters, get them to know my face, how I like to ask questions and stuff. But yeah, I managed to get a couple of questions in with Dillian Whyte, which is really good. And I asked him about, you know, what from his perspective, the 1,000 days, does he expect from his perspective the WBC to make him start from day one or make him start from day 1001 if he were to win? And that was his response. I also asked him, my second question was, because there was a rumour about VADA testing, wasn't there? So there was a rumour about VADA testing that it wasn't in place. So the second question I asked about Povetkin, I was a bit cautious about it, because, you know, asking fighters about drugs testing when stuff in the past has happened, it's a bit of a risky thing. You never want to upset anyone or lose access. That's the worst thing that can happen. But if you phrase a question correctly and fairly, I think it's fair game to ask a question. So because there are rumours about VADA testing, and Eddie Hearn had come out and confirmed VADA testing was in place. No one had confirmed it with Dillian. So I thought, you know what, because it's been confirmed by Eddie, I'll drop that in and just ask him to clarify and confirm that is in place. So then it's a question sort of about drugs testing and whether it's in place or not. And yeah, second question, he answered it. He was like, yeah, there has been drug testing. I got drug tested like 2 days ago. Don't know about Povetkin, but I know I've been. And like Boxing Scene wrote an article about from the answer. They also wrote an article from the answer for the WBC one. I think they wrote a third one as well, because I asked Povetkin. Do you remember how people were talking about Povetkin saying, I think Bellew or someone was saying they were about to pull him out at the end of the 4th round where he got knocked down twice. So I asked Povetkin if he could clarify the rumour as to whether the corner were going to pull him out. He said, no, it was never going to happen. Don't know where that's come from, but it was never going to happen. That wasn't a conversation we ever had. So, yeah. It was good to get that done. And I think Boxing Scene also picked up that from there as well. So I'm just going to pull that up quickly. I just need to grab a little quick drink. So I'll pull that up again. I'll be back in a moment. Should you win at the weekend, Dillian, what is the situation with the title shot you were looking for? Do you expect to have to wait, or would you expect the WBC to acknowledge from what your perspective at the time was, at the time that you had before, to wait for that title?
They better fucking acknowledge I've waited long enough, you know, and the manager situation is still going on. Povetkin is in contract. It's not like I've lost someone and no, it's still a contract. So the manager position is just on hold at the minute. So the winner of this fight should just be manager and should be in line for the title fight next. Hopefully they have to wait 1,000 days again, whatever it was.
Asking Scotland, big up, how are you doing? Good to see you. Proud of you, son. I appreciate that, man. It's all just a learning curve, isn't it? And the thing is, like, it doesn't matter to me if it's Dillian Whyte or it's Kane Baker or it's Alexander Povetkin or Yusuf Kamari or whatever it is. I'm just here to learn. I'm hungry to interview. Whatever opportunities I get, I'll get it and I'll take it. That's all it's about for me, really. Just kind of grafting and trying to get where we can. So, yeah. Any opportunities are welcome from my perspective. That's my attitude for it. So it's good to, even if I can just get one question or no question. Well, I want to definitely get one question in with every fighter. Like, one of the big things as me was I managed to get, like, Golovkin is someone who I absolutely love. And there was for the Golovkin, I forgot the Polish fighter's name now. What's his name? For Golovkin's last fight, right? We had a press conference for that as well by Zoom, and I had to get a question in with Golovkin. I had to get a question in, so I messaged, like, the guy who was running. It's like, can you please let me get a question? It's like a dream for me to, like, even just quote unquote interview. It's asking a question about quote unquote interviewing Golovkin, and I got in and I was able to ask a question. I asked him, like, of all the fighters that you in your career who could have fought you and didn't, who was the one fighter you wish you'd got over the line? That one deal you wished you got over the line. And he said Kelly Pavlik, which I was quite surprised, to be fair. I thought he might have said, like, Miguel Cotto or Sergio Martinez, but he went with Kelly Pavlik, which is an interesting choice, and it would have been a great fight, that one. We've just got Fabio Wardley and Eric Molina here in the ring. This is a decent opportunity here for Fabio, not in just the fact that it's Eric Molina who should in theory be a good test, even though he's had COVID, an injury, a big freeze, electricity, lack of electricity hindering his camp. It should should push him a little bit, and he's a chief support to Whyte versus Povetkin. I would have thought the British title fight would have been chief support, but a big opportunity for Fabio Wardley, who very, very, very lovely guy who's learning his trade, plying his trade, getting his opportunities, improving each time. But his biggest stage to date here, and we'll see what he does and take it. If he takes it with both hands, he should do. Eric Molina, he's limited. Sometimes he comes to fight, sometimes he doesn't. When he fought Hrgovic, he just didn't seem like he didn't want it at all. But we'll see what he brings. Caught your Whyte interview, top man. I appreciate that. Last King of Scotland again. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Whyte or James White or whatever on the bottom of the undercard I'm interviewing. It's just a good opportunity, a chance to interview. But I appreciate all you guys' support. If you haven't already and you're in here, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Smash the like button because it helps me in that algorithm. If ever you see me on, or even if you see a video I put out, just hit the like button because it helps me loads, and leave a comment if you can. It helps me, like, grow. I was here for the first fight, if you remember. I do remember you being here, and I do remember you predicting Povetkin to win by KO. I do. Honestly dislike Whyte, so I naturally want him to lose. The Russian Ninja is an awesome fighter for me. Yeah, he's a quality operator. Look, this fight will tell Povetkin and Whyte, if you can't beat Povetkin, Whyte's dreams of winning a world title, like, where does he go? Like, because of the state with the world titles in boxing right now, I wouldn't count out Whyte from winning a title eventually, because there's enough, trash in the heavyweight division that pick up a belt. I mean, no disrespect, I'm not calling him trash. In his own right, he was decent enough, but not a great heavyweight. Bermain Stavern having a WBC belt, right? If Dillian Whyte will beat a Bermain Stavern level fighter, for sure. So down the line, that might be that opportunity for Dillian Whyte. So I'll never say he won't win a world title, but it says a lot for him that he wouldn't, if he comes up and fight against a world class heavyweight, which is what Povetkin is. He won't have it in the tank. He doesn't have the ability to beat that level of fighter. He's not on that level. So it's a real big acid test for Dillian Whyte. But I wouldn't count him out for winning a world title. And what's your reasons for disliking Dillian? Like, I understand that I'm not trying to change your mind, or I don't dislike or like Dillian. I enjoy watching his fights. I'm not indifferent, but I don't really dislike him. But I understand the feelings amongst. We're in round 1. Wardley and Eric Molina. About 50 seconds gone on the clock, and Fabio on the front foot. But yeah, I understand the feeling amongst fans, because originally we had fans had a lot of goodwill towards Dillian, always in entertaining fights, always want to put the smoke, kind of didn't get his opportunities. But then the hardcore kind of tide changed towards being against Dillian Whyte because of the 1,000 days thing, and that being incorrect. It wasn't 1,000 days mandatory. You might have waited 1,000 days for being number 1, but being number 1 or whatever it is in the place of the heavyweight rankings you wait as long as you have to wait. You're not mandatory. You have to wait, right? So there's a bit of misinformation there. I think Fabio Wardley just took a right hand there. He's feinting with the right hand, but not getting off any shots just yet. Bit of a bad night so far for the White camp, having Eric Pfeiffer lose, having Chris Congo lose. So Fabio Wardley will want to be stopping that trend before they get to the main event. But yeah, and then the drugs thing as well with the B sample. So I understand why the hardcore trend, or that maybe even you might even say some of the general people, boxing fans, might have changed their ways and thinkings around Dillian Whyte. But it's hard to any fighter in the heavyweight division to have, how many fighters have some sort of marking or doubt around their cleanliness in the support. People say about AJ's and the TUEs. Povetkin, of course, has had his troubles in the past. Lots of fighters there. Right hand there, taken by Fabio Wardley. But yeah, what are your reasons? Let me know why. The biggest thing for me is that taking that all away, generally Dillian Whyte isn't good and enjoyable fights, and that's what I want to see from most fighters. The worst thing you want is I'm not indifferent about Dillian. I like him enough, but the worst thing you want to be is indifferent about a fighter. And there are so many fighters where they come in the ring, they do their thing, and then they're forgotten about after a week. So to create a talking point, even when you're someone like Dillian Whyte, is a good thing for him and being in that spotlight. Fabio Wardley, I think he aimed low there. He's getting a bit of telling off, maybe. Or was the gum shield came out actually from Eric Molina. 15 seconds left of the first round. Can't see Povetkin winning this time. Yeah, I'm gonna sit back and enjoy it. Gun to my head, I'd probably say Whyte on points on the way to being knocked down as well, though. So it gets up off the canvas to win on points. Right hand lands there for Eric Molina. Right hand lands on the shoulder that the second time, though. Much bigger heavyweight Eric Molina is, so might pack a bigger punch if it does land. I always leave a like, mate, but I'll leave a comment also if it helps you out. Yeah, even if it's just like, hello. Yeah, everything helps out. Yeah, no, I know you always leave a like as well, but yeah, it all helps in the algorithm. But like, I know as well, like, I've got to be putting more content out there. Like I said to you guys, once I get my PC built, once my PC's built, got my CPU here, got my motherboard, got my RAM, just need my GPU and then the monitor and stuff. Hopefully by midway through the year, I'll have it built and I'll be pumping out the content. Good content, different content is coming, I promise you. I don't want to put a time date on it, but it is coming on this channel, as well as for Boxing News TV. As soon as the lockdown ends, you guys for sure know well I'm going to go see Tyne again and get some interviews done, as with other people. I just feel Povetkin smashed Whyte's confidence and put fear in Whyte, therefore will hesitate more. Either way, may the best man win. Yeah, I'd hate to see something like Povetkin winning and then getting robbed on the cards, or Povetkin getting dropped and then getting like a shitty little crappy stoppage where it's just completely unwarranted. So I hope if Povetkin does get dropped again twice, he gets given the benefit like he was the first time around. But such a crafty fighter. There's much more left in Povetkin, even though the body might have slowed down, even though the punch resistance might not be there as much as it has been. There's still so much left in terms of craftiness and little bits of skills that he's picked up and little bits of tricks in his arsenal that he didn't even begin to dip into against Dillian Whyte. It was the uppercut that time, but the left hook is the big one, isn't it, with Povetkin, and he hasn't landed that one yet, so that's still a big weapon for Whyte to be very wary of. Jab there from Fabio Wardley. Right hand misses for Fabio. Jab there for Fabio again. Double feint with a double jab and the right hand to the body from Eric Molina. 1-2 down from Eric, to the body from Eric Molina. It was a good shot and a right hand for Eric. Right hand to the body in return for Fabio. Eric Molina looking like he's fancy. This takes a stiff jab though, right in his face from Fabio. But this is a fancy fight for a fight that he fancies, it seems. 2 rounds in though. 1 minute left of the second. Right hand there lands for Fabio. He shifts off, pivots off of an angle, tries to come back with something, but he smothers the work there. 33 seconds left. 30 seconds left, sorry, of the second. Jab to the chest from from Eric Molina. And again. Fabio wants to get this done in less than 6. So maybe he's just looking to try and like feint and get a reaction out of Eric Molina, make him work a bit more than... He's trying to land that right hand, Eric Molina is. Last King of Scotland saying, I'm not a fan of Dillian really, to be honest, but he was battering Povetkin into the uppercut from hell. Yeah, that's what it was. Povetkin did have successes, and I think it's unfair to say that Povetkin, it was just the punch. There was still a couple of shots like to the body as well, I think, in a couple of rounds before that Povetkin was landing. But you're right in the sense that majoritively, to be fair, it was all really Dillian Whyte, and he dropped him twice. He was on the way to the victory, and you saw that swagger from Dillian after the 4th round. He kind of knew it was in the bag, and was having the beating of Povetkin until that one big shot. But you make your own luck, and it wasn't a lucky punch. You manifested that punch through years of experience. I'm an Australian, and I didn't like when Whyte used the race card on Lucas Brown in the press conference. It's such a coward move for a boxer who's meant to be a man. I only vaguely remember that. Was this the video that time was on about where there was something about being called a monkey or something like that? I genuinely vaguely recall it. That's about as much as I recall from it. 3rd round, Fabio Wardley with the jab. I just feel Whyte was calling Aussies racist. Maybe I took it to heart too much. Don't worry, I know Lucas Brown is a goose, but he's not a racist. I respect Whyte as a fighter, just not as a man. Personal opinion. No, fair enough. I'm not here to change your mind or anything like that. It's your opinion. And orangutan, was that what it was? I can't remember what happened, so I can't really comment on it. Maybe it's something I need to look back on. I don't remember. I remember watching that fight live, and I don't remember that race element being in it. But I do remember Tyne's video. But this is after the fact of the fight, so I can't really remember the full kind of context of it. But putting that aside, right, Dillian Whyte did a proper job on Lucas Brown, busted him up, and got an emphatic knockout at the end of it. we spoke to Lucas Brown, you know, because Fabio Wardley was supposed to fight Lucas Brown, and there was a whole thing going on with them about, you know, business class tickets and bringing a whole team over. And the fight didn't materialize, and that's why they've gone with overhand right there for Fabio Wardley on Eric Molina lands and the jab. That's why they went with Eric Molina, and they were thinking about getting David Price, and right hand lands there for Fabio. First big penetrative shot for Fabio Wardley. Yeah, so they were thinking about David Price. They were thinking about Lucas Brown. They wanted Lucas Brown, but they got Eric Molina instead. And Fabio, we did the interview with Fabio, and we gave Lucas Brown the right to respond. And Lucas, we didn't get an interview, but Lucas sent us a video. He was like spitting in anger. He was so angry about like the situation. He was saying like, "Fabio, what are you lying bastard? That's not what happened. You offered me these tickets. I'm a bigger guy." Molina in a bit of trouble here, looking like he doesn't want it again. Left hook, right hand. Just looking like Molina was just about to unravel there. Right hand, just Fabio's head movement is really good. His upper body and head movement is good. I mean, it's against Eric Molina, but the feints and head movement are real standouts for Fabio Wardley. Yeah, he said like Lucas Brown was like, "You lying bastard! I didn't want that. I'm a bigger guy. I can't be traveling on economy for a long haul flight when I'm supposed to be fighting. I need business class seats. I need the comfort. I can't come over and quarantine, you know, one way and then quarantine on the way back. So I'm missing this much time out of my family." So it made sense what Lucas Brown was saying. The truth is probably somewhere in between. But I think that's a fight maybe the team will revisit, either for Fabio or either for Alan Babic. But yeah, they've been talking about maybe a Gorman. David Price might be a bit too soon, in my opinion. I think he still needs a few more fights before he gets to fighting someone like David Price. But they're managing Fabio Wardley well, considering his limited experiences in pro boxing and boxing in general. Bad spelling, yeah. No, I got what you meant. It's all water under the bridge for me, but I never forget. And White smashed. It was a great KO, highlight reel knockout. Is Lucas Brown fighting like a rugby player or something like that? I think there's something like that going on. This boy Molina, let's get back to his janitorial duties. He's fucking awful. He's a teacher, ain't he? Fair play to respect to all the teachers in the world out there, but yeah, he looked like he didn't want it there for whatever reason, just a bit. I don't know if it's because he was off balance. Snow burn is fucking killing me, you know. I'm just a little bit behind here, so if you head, don't worry about it. We're in round 4, just about to start. My stomach is absolutely killing me, you know. Last King, you got any bets on? I'm not a betting man, but let me know what you've put down. Body shots coming in from Eric Molina. Fabio Wardley clinches. Body shot again. Right hand over the top from Eric. He's putting it on Fabio now. Right hand. Just blocked. Right hand left hook landed. The left hook was a better punch from Eric Molina. Jab. Solid jab there from Fabio. Pushing back the neck of Eric. Eric Molina just looks the bigger man, so you might have trouble like putting a dent in him, like with one big punch. Like the Lucas Brown fight still makes sense for Fabio, I was thinking like Jerry Forrest, but I think after Jerry Forrest's performance with Zhang, I wouldn't put Fabio in with Zhang just with Forrest just yet. Schneider's those sort of types of fighters, some of the stuff that Dubois fought, just because I still think Fabio's like a couple of years off the higher levels. Maybe British or a Commonwealth or something. But there's no rush with him at all. Left hook, right hand to the body from Eric Molina. End of the 4th round. We're seeing Dillian Whyte get his wrist taped. I thought he was a janitor. I'm pretty sure he's a teacher. Pretty sure he's a teacher. Maybe he's in the school as a janitor / teacher. Yeah, he's fighting a rugby player, I think. Lucas Brown's soul is still on the canvas in the UK from White Fight. I personally think Parker represents Australia more, even if he's a Kiwi from next door. Yeah, Parker's got that fight with Chisora, which isn't pay-per-view. It's excuse me. It's that card is just indefensible, really. There's name value there, fight value. I think Parker and Chisora will be a good fight, but just as that solely as the best fight on the card in terms of it being a pay-per-view, he's getting told off here. What's that about? What's the point in that? Yeah, it's just not pay-per-view worthy. It's a shame. Got 100 on White KOs round 4 to 8, 9 to 2, so 550 back. All the best of luck with that. Excuse me. Right hand, big right hand there from Eric. Getting a bit confident. Fabio's just ducking and diving out of the way, but he took a big right hand there and another one. And he's fighting back, Fabio, and he's dropped Eric Molina. He's caught Eric Molina with a shot. Is he going to get up? What's... Strange. I need to see that again. Because it's sort of strange. Either Fabio has some incredible power shot, which I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm not being sarcastic here, because he's just seemingly poleaxed Eric Molina off of the back of taking a right hand. Or he's had two fighters just kind of take a dive on him. Oh, he's saying it's the back of the head. They're saying it's the back of the head. Or a slip. What are they saying here? Yeah, either two fighters are taking a dive in Larty and Molina, or Fabio Wadley has insane power. But Molina looks alright. I need to see that again. He's talking fine to him. But he took a right hand, and his instincts were to fight back, which is admirable. Which shows us a bit about Fabio Wardley. He still ducked and dived and jived, as he usually does. And he fought back, and he landed something. Or, I don't know, what happened there? I want to see the replay. Gibraltar fans clapping and singing Fabio Wardley. They love Fabio Wardley here. Well, he's swearing about something. Here we go. Here's the replay. Right hand lands flush on the chin from Eric Molina. Fabio takes it. And he comes back. Right hand again, partially blocked. Right hand. No, I think that's fair, you know. The heads clashed a bit, but there were 2 punches after that, and Eric went down. So I think it's fair that. Right. So the right hand lands flush for Eric Molina. He tries to capitalize, partially lands the right hand again. There's a clinch. It's separated. Heads clash on the way up, but a right hand, a left hook comes in, and then the feet sort of tangle as well. I need to see an angle on the feet tangle. I need to see that feet tangle, but the punches were there. There was a headbutt, but that it wasn't. It was completely accidental. On the way of on ducking down, Fabio Wardley came up, and the heads did hit, like maybe the chin of Wardley, but 2 punches came after that. So strange one. Chisora will put up a great fight, and Parker needs to be careful. I think Parker will beat Chisora. I think it will be enjoyable. In the same way that the Whyte and Chisora fights were enjoyable, I think these 2 fights can be enjoyable. In that same sort of fight way, it'll be that sort of fight style. Now, both of these fighters are prone to sometimes like clinching and stuff, and it could end up being a little shitty kind of punch clinch fest. But I think it should be a fan friendly type of fight. The thing with Parker that I want to see is I want to see that bit of spite in Parker. I think he doesn't have that spite. I think only in one fight, in one of his previous fights, I think he fought another New Zealander, and he had that bit of spite about him. It was earlier in his career. I can't remember who it was, but since I haven't, in the fights I've seen of Joseph, and not been, I don't see that killer instinct in him. Chisora will suit Parker style. Delbo struggles with movers. Here we go. We're just getting a replay again, are we? Oh, no, we're not. It's about the football. Parker and points for me, but pay-per-view is a piss take. Yeah, it's not pay-per-view at all. Parker late stoppage or Parker points? Parker points. I think Parker points. I think Parker might I was going to say he might drop him back. I'll take that back. Parker on points. Just listen to Fabio Wardley now. Talking about being caught. So you got bored with the long game and the tactics side, but you got to be disciplined. If you want to get higher up in the sport, you got to be disciplined. He did show a good chin. He has to be fair. You don't want to show a good chin too much, too often, especially against the likes of Eric Molina. And to be fair, he managed the storm well. Right hand, left hook, right hand. The first right hand did the damage. Yeah, that's why fights like this with Eric Molina, shipping shots like that, showing that those chinks in the armor are good for the types of Fabio Wardley, where you need to learn those things, know that about you now, so that when you're in a fight where it means something, you've worked on those things already. It is the cliche learning fight. It's cliche, but it's true here. Shane McGuigan says speed goes a long way as a heavyweight. Wardley needs to jab more. He's improving quick though. What's his name? Russian fella, heavyweight, not Dinu. Razvan Kajanu. Fabio Wardley, Razvan Kajanu. Right, we should be getting Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin next. I'm just going to pop quickly to the toilet again. I've been on the green tea, so back in a moment.
Povetkin Whyte, shit match. If you're saying that this is takeover fight, it's rubbish. That's pure 50-50. Pure 50-50. Fair play to Dillian. He's been upset with me. He's been saying on Instagram, saying that I'm a wanker for voicing my opinion, which is disappointing, honestly. I mean, listen, I'm Russian. I don't give a fuck. I won't be blowing your trumpet, my man. I'm going to tell you how it is. You like it or not like it. And you prefer me being honest for you telling that rather than, oh, Dillian, you're so amazing. Oh, you got knocked out, punch from Gods. No, that was well-prepared Russian school combination. Jab, sleep down, body shot. Then he saw the opening, bang, lights out. That's what it was.
Did I read correctly that you've got Ricky Hatton in your corner for this fight? Is that right?
Yeah, we've added in Rick just into the corner as a second, just for guidance and experience and help. Really, like I've got a pretty good relationship with Ricky. I've known him for a while when I spent a bit of time in Gorman's camp when he was part of that Hatton stable. So yeah, we've brought him in, but purely just for a seconds and some eyes and some knowledge. And like I say, it's a step up in fight, it's a step up in class. So if there's any little hopes and pointers he can give, it'd be great to have his advice there.
So when people talk about karma and all this law of attraction, this woman came round to my house one time. She's always going on about the universe. You know, she's always writing nice Facebook statuses saying if you put this out into the universe, the universe will send this back to you. So I said to her, what do you know about the universe? What does E equals MC squared mean? And she was like, E equals M is the let me just have a look on Google. So I said, don't bother looking on Google. You tell me what E equals MC squared means. You're always going on about the universe. I've done a little open universe. I've done a little shit course, you know, physics. So I know what it means. What do you know about a proton? That's what I said to her. Or an electron.
Right then, boys, I'm back. Main event coming up imminently. A little bit gutted I can't get this Lennox Clark fight. Willie Hutchinson Lennox Clark fight. I think Willie Hutchinson will beat Lennox Clark, but I like both fighters a lot, especially Lennox being from the West Midlands. Always got a soft spot for any West Midlands fighters. BCB fighters been taking their opportunities in the spotlight. Take for example Kane Baker, Rachel Ball, Ijaz Ahmed. So it's a good little opportunity for BCB. Not that I think Lennox will beat him, but a fight I still wanted to see, especially as there's a little bit of spite. I love it when there's a little bit of spite in a fight, and Lennox always brings that attitude to his fight. So, what's this picture I've been taking here? My mate Amy sending me a picture. Good to see you, Amy. But yeah, I can't get that fight up. I think Gorman's just beat Pavel Sauer, which isn't anything to write home about. But it's just a bit annoying why they couldn't shift it a week or do it yesterday instead of having a double header going up with a Whyte Povetkin fight when you're an opposing rival promoter. See if we can get it up here. Got it here. Sweet. So we'll put this on the side as well. But Hutchinson should have a few questions asked of him by Lennox Clark on the way to winning and potentially maybe even stopping Lennox. What are you guys saying in here? I'm on the green too, lol, but not the T. I wonder what you mean by that, pal. Round 5 of 12 for Clark and Hutchinson on the BT Sports side, whilst we're waiting for Povetkin and Whyte. Bob Marley is good for the health. Don't smoke it myself, but fairs to you. Al Siesta is a don. He couldn't give a fuck. Legend. Yeah, Al Siesta always cracks me up. Rob Tevitt did a really, really good interview with Al. Like on the Boxing Social podcast, I think it was a week back. Oh, big right hand there for Lennox Clark. Smashed the head of Willie Hutchinson. Oh, he's down. Hutchinson's all over the place. I think Hutchinson's about to get knocked out. He's done it. Can you believe that? Lennox fucking Clark has just knocked out Willie Hutchinson. What a fucking win that is. Whoa. What a win for... BC Bug Boxing, just take their fighters, take their opportunities, man. Fucking hell, well done, Lennox. That's a shocker, that one is. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I literally just turned it on, and he smashed, like, Lennox Clark can punch, and I was saying this earlier. A big right hand lands over the top. I was saying this earlier. I was the only person to interview Lennox after that fight with Lerone Richards, and he was very unlucky in that fight because he started slow, and if he started a bit sooner, he could have potentially beat Lerone Richards. Now I personally had that fight a draw, but I missed the 10th round because I went to the toilet when I was watching that fight at the arena. And I went back and I watched the 10th round, and I thought Lerone Richards won that 12th round. So I just had it about one round to Lerone Richards, but it wasn't his all way, and he can hit. And he's absolutely smashed to bits Willie Hutchinson here, who was supposed to be the next Joe Calzaghe, Dom Ingles' last long-term project, and he's put a real dent in those plans for Dom Ingle. Unreal. Big upset there. But this is the thing, like I was saying to you, BCB Gym, in the West Midlands, fighters from the West Midlands don't get as much of the spotlight, but those at the BCB Gym who get their opportunities have been taking them. Like I said to you, Rachel Ball has been taking her opportunity. Ijaz Ahmed has taken his opportunity. Kane Baker's taken his opportunity. Now Lennox Clark has taken his opportunity. But that's the biggest win of them all, for me. Lennox Clark beating Willie Hutchinson, and hopefully Lennox Clark gets a bit of time here. One second, back in a moment. Oh shit, and he's British champion now, isn't he? Fucking hell, I forgot about that. I forgot about the titles being on the line. Yeah, he's new British champion now. The belt's on upside down, but... Oh, they're playing Sweet fucking Caroline, man. For fuck's sake. Yeah, it's a massive coupon buster, that one. But Lennox always carries big power through the fights, and he's caught Willie Hutchinson. I literally just turned it on. And just saw Lennox Clark just smack him up. That's more of a surprise than what... Yeah, you're probably right. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to... I will never ever sing along to Sweet Caroline. Fuck that fucking song, man. I can't stand it. Come on, Povetkin. James Windsor back in here. Good to see you, James. Can you believe that, James? Willie Hutchinson just got knocked out by Lennox Clark. I thought Lennox Clark would prove to be a tough challenge for him, but I thought Willie Hutchinson might just have that bit more than Lennox, but Lennox just totally just destroyed him. I'm getting lots of Snapchats from Amy, but I've not been watching them. Time for the main event now. I think we're going over to... Here we go. Here's a replay of the last two shots. I've just gone off my Twitter feed. Come on. I need to watch this back. He's pinned him at the big right hand lands. And another right hand and a left hook. And he's gone. And he's all over the shop. He said, I'm good. And he's waved it off. Bloody hell. Getting a replay here now. Go on, Lennox. I think his son's name is Nigel Ben. Dillian Whyte about to come to the ring now. Rest in peace, what? Rest in peace, what's on his lapel? I can't quite see it. I see Eddie Hearn there.
Here are some results from a search.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Is it Hagler? Rest in peace. He's got rest in peace Hagler emblazoned on his robe there. Yeah, I see Dean White there, Lamar Scott there. Right then. I was singing Sweet Carolina all night when Andy flattened Joshua. Fucking hell, you cruel bastard. Right. Now is the time to put your prediction in to the chat now. Put your balls on the line, put your colours on the flag. What is your prediction for Whyte versus Povetkin? The main event is happening right now. So I want everyone's prediction in here now. I'll give you mine. I'm going with Whyte on points. And I also think that Whyte will have to come off the canvas to win on points. But ultimately, Whyte will win on points against Povetkin. That's what I'm going for. Dillian's just got his introduction. He's coming now to the ring. My stomach is killing me, man. The classic little Jaws entrance into Back in Black, I presume. Oh, I'm getting loads and loads of fucking messages, man. What is this about? Oh, you're making me bold. Now it's pretty good to be fair. To be fair, Amy, it won't be far off till I'm fucking bold like that. Can you say that? It's actually pretty funny. And now you put butterflies over Whyte's head. Beards on Povetkin and Whyte. Flat caps and beards on them too. Broccoli, I like the broccoli. That's a good one. I don't know what that is. Jaws into the wolf whistle call, whatever it is. Into Back in Black as the fire and the sparklers go off and Dillian Whyte is jumping on his feet and now walking his way into the ring. There's not enough rock tunes, man, in fucking boxing. It's annoying. I love my rap music, but I need to hear fucking more Metallica, more AC/DC, more Rage Against the Machine, in fucking even like Prodigy and Pendulum, man. What are these pictures you're sending me, man? Fucking hell, Amy. Right, okay, here we go. Whyte KO between 4 to 8 already got £100 on it. Aaron's going for Whyte by knockout. I'm going for Whyte on points. I know a lot more people are picking for Povetkin this time round. Okay, Amy, please stop spamming me now with these fucking things, man. Fuck me. A pigeon on Dillian Whyte's head, okay. There's a pigeon on your head. Povetkin on the right looks like Aaron in that picture. Oh my god, you're still sending me snaps. Fucking hell. Right then. Povetkin's about to make his entrance. BCB Promotions have just dropped me a retweet about Lennox Clark. I don't know what this song is. Sounds a bit like actually no, it doesn't sound like Hotel California. My god, you're still sending me snaps. Povetkin's making his ring walk. Get some guitar type of tune. I think this is a Russian tune. White with the Scotty Too Hotty sunglasses there from Amy, thank you. Ooh, White's just standing in front of Povetkin, following him around the ring. Whew. Right then. Just remember, I'll be hopping over to this. I'll be after this fight finishes. I'll be summarizing and then hopping over to Boxing Asylum's post-fight review. So I'll see you in the chat there if you're not already on. If you're not there, make sure you go to Boxing Asylum that has podcast and subscribe there. Stomach's killing me, man. Povetkin looking nice and relaxed and calm. He's singing the tune of his whatever that song is. Oh my god, I'm still getting snaps. Fuck me, come on. A lemon. Oh, it's a lemon white. Fucking, what is that? Come on, man. Oh my, I'm not even showing that. No, I'm not showing that one. Fucking hell, man. Well, it's good to have your support, nonetheless. Two good friends who give me their support. And like that, Charlotte and Rob, who's not here. Fuck Rob. Get your snaps out for the lads. Yeah, that's what I'm being sent by my two mates. Are not really big boxing fans, but they support me by tuning in wherever I do lives, which is good of them. And I suppose they're just having a bit of fun themselves, so... Let's see where my shitty little Bitcoin investment is. Bought some Ethereum the other week. I am £1.80 up. Good times. I got a new follower on Instagram. Is that Christopher_William? Is that you, pal? Is that William Wallace in the chat? Oh, do you already follow me? I think you do already follow me, maybe. I play straight green Jozzies. Fucking hell. Oh, you got the Mortal Kombat fucking thingy as well. I didn't realise your avatar was a little Mortal Kombat thing. Fucking love Mortal Kombat. I don't know about the movie, though. The movie might be a bit shit. Right, official introductions are coming in now from David Diamante. You guys might be ahead of me, you guys might be in front of me, but... it's all cool. Oh, I forgot about the national fucking anthems, man. I'm so confused. I thought it was only Gibraltans that are getting into the arena. Yet they're all fucking singing the British national anthem. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Maybe this is a load of Gibraltans in... maybe there's a load of UK's former expats in Gibraltar. Or expats even, sorry. Now, Russia's national anthem. I believe it's quite a long one, isn't it? The one thing I hate, though, is when there are national anthems, I hate it when like other fans boo it. I don't get the point of booing it. You cheer your own one and boo the other. Just let the fucking anthem play, man. Whoops, sorry. That hurt my ear. Hope it didn't hurt yours. Yeah, bro, that's Reptile from MK Fru's my favourite. And yes, that's me and Insta. Good. I appreciate you following me there on Instagram. Every little helps on trying to grow and stuff like that. I'll drop you a follow back after this stream as well, no problem. Yeah, Reptile. I remember I had the original Mortal Kombat on Sega Mega Drive. The fight hasn't started, so don't worry. I'm not. I'll get to the fight when it starts. But I had Mortal Kombat on the Sega Mega Drive, and I always used to love Liu Kang, and Raiden as well. I've played most of the Mortal Kombat. My favourite Mortal Kombat was probably Deception, to be fair. Good little story with like Shujinko and Unaga. Although they've completely like binned off Shujinko, haven't they, since? But the movie, I'll watch it. I don't think it'll hopefully be better than that Cheese Fest of the first two movies, Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which were just terrible. I remember watching them as a kid. But there needs to be a good little bit of cheese, but not too much or overly cheesy with Mortal Kombat. And apparently Johnny Cage isn't going to be in it either. But anyway, we're about to get the official introductions now. We've done with the anthems. Diamante is going to do his thing and introduce Whyte and Povetkin. Dillian with the left half side of his back and chest tattooed, with the tattoo going over his arm as well. It's got that kind of... It's sort of familiar to, like, you know how like Samoans have those sort of tattoos. They remind me of that in a way, and it's not fully like that at all. It's not a carbon copy of that. It's tattooed in its own sort of way, but it sort of just reminds me of that. Whyte just in the corner, like looking down at the floor, cracking his neck left and right. I love a good crack on my neck. Looking at the fans. To be fair, they're putting for 500 people. They've been loud from the get-go, really, and it is genuinely actually quite nice to see. Haha, really. What, is in the Mortal Kombat stuff? Whyte getting his introduction. He lifts his hands up as the crowd roar in response to Dillian Whyte's name being announced. Excuse me. Will they boo Povetkin? Yeah, they are booing Povetkin. Well, Povetkin will shove those boos down your throat if he managed to replicate what happened in the first fight between them. 41 years of age, 39 fights, 36 wins, 25 knockouts, 2 losses, 1 draw. That draw to Michael Hunter, and I thought he beat Michael Hunter by a round. Right then, we're about to get the bell for the first round. It's highly anticipated. Yeah, as in you didn't like the original movie for its time. I liked it at the time when I was a kid, because I was just a kid. But watching it back now, it's fucking terrible. Right, they're about to get it starting. Just a little bit behind. Bell for the first round rings. We're about to get it crack-a-lacking, Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin. Whyte's hurt Povetkin already in the first minute. It seemed anyway. Oh, come on. Oh, White trying to bowl one over. Big right hand over. Right hand to the body from Dillian Whyte. Left hook from Dillian Whyte lands. Right then, boys, I'm going to switch this up because mine was playing up there. Right, 20 seconds left of the first round. Bit of a sticky patch there, if you know what I mean, boys. Povetkin tries to shoot a right hand over the top as they clinch. Exit the clinch. Didn't really see too much of that first round. I apologise for that, but I missed it. Dude, I missed it. I totally missed it. You know what happens with the old things. I won't say the word here, but you know. I need to see a replay of that. That's good instruction there. You hurt him, but you need to keep your hands up. Was it a type of uppercut? What was it? I think it was just more balance. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it wasn't actually. There's a couple of punches going in as well. Jab. Right hand landed on the temple. Took that shot well, Povetkin. Yeah. Exactly, Last King. Exactly. I've settled now with my one. So bell for the second round. Povetkin tries to touch gloves. Dillian Whyte's having none of that. Jab lands for Whyte. Povetkin off his feet, off balance. But it's balance thing. It's not a punch. It's the balance. Jab for Whyte. He's keeping it at bay, keeping it at a distance. Right hand to the body from Dillian Whyte. Jab up top for Whyte again. Jab to the body from Whyte. Left hook to the body for Whyte. Lands. It was right hand, sorry, to the body for Whyte. And up top, a right hand lands. 1-2 down the pipe for Dillian Whyte. And then just disengages, stepping backwards. Povetkin tries to shoot right hand. Whyte's out of range. Tries to tag him with a jab. Whyte's out of range. On the back foot, just moving around, circling Dillian Whyte. And engaging on his terms, putting out a single jab. There's that little dip again from Povetkin there, and Whyte kind of covered up and looked at the ground again. If Povetkin sees that, notice that one, he might try and shoot that shot that he did last time around again. A feint by Dillian. Left hook attempt misses from Dillian Whyte. Right hand to the body from Povetkin. From Whyte, sorry. Povetkin shot up with a left hook, partially blocked by Dillian Whyte. Right hand by Whyte. Right hand by Povetkin, blocked by Whyte. Nope. There. Right hand lands for Povetkin, I think it was. Whyte got trapped in the corner there. Whilst Whyte seemingly is winning this first couple of rounds, the stamina is always an issue for Dillian Whyte. Just got caught in the corner there as well. Got to be careful. Whyte landing a nice 1, 2. That's right, Last King. I wish I knew Russian. It'd be good to have Al here translating for us. Right. Jab. Yeah, there's the 1, 2. We'll see how the stamina holds out though, when if it gets to the later rounds. Dillian Whyte has always had stamina issues. Round 3 of 12. 15 seconds gone. Ooh. In those, Whyte is keen to tie up Povetkin when he gets close, and then after the clinch, he wants to shoot, like wanted to bowl over a big right hand, and didn't land. But if it did land, Povetkin would have been down for sure. Right hand to the body from Dillian Whyte. Fakes a jab. Oh, Whyte's down, and they're calling it a slip. Dillian just keeping it at range here. Right hand over the top from Povetkin. Just missed, I think. Oh, big right hand there lands for Dillian Whyte. Massive right hand there. Povetkin took it. Povetkin's dangerous still, but he took that massive right hand. And another overhand right lands for Dillian Whyte. And Whyte just not taking the chance there. Just throwing it over, but not taking the chance. Uppercut on the inside from Dillian Whyte. Much more measured approach here from Dillian. He's still willing to wing some stuff in, but not completely throw himself into it when he's got Povetkin hurt. Jab there for Povetkin. It was a slip, Last King. It was a slip, yeah. It looked like it anyway. Haven't seen the replay, but it was called a slip. Just managing the distance here against Povetkin. Doing really well, not looking to force any action really. One, two there from Dillian Whyte lands big. The second punch was a rocker. Smashing Povetkin there. But he's taking the shots, as Nick Horling was saying, very well. He takes Povetkin's shots very well. Taking him a lot better than he was beforehand. Yeah, it was a slip. We haven't got the replay, but it was called a slip anyway. I think we might get a replay for it, but from what I saw, it was a slip. That Nando sauce is a fucking killer, man. Absolutely destroying my stomach. Corner saying, stay behind the jab, keep it all behind the jab, and tuck up once you've hit your combinations. David Smeaton D.S is asking who's winning. David, Whyte's winning, to be fair. The biggest thing about it, as a right hand lands for Dillian Whyte, is he's managing the distance well, not jumping with anything bigger than a massive right hand in. It's absolutely hurt Povetkin here. Povetkin's in trouble. Whyte's trying to capitalise here. He lands another right hand. And if they're throwing at each other here, Whyte could get caught. He's got to be careful not to get caught. He's throwing a lot here. He had Povetkin caught with that right hand. He keeps tagging him with that right hand. But he's just got to be careful. Jab again from... Povetkin's taking the shots a lot better than he did the first time round. But yeah, Dillian Whyte's winning this. The biggest thing about this performance so far for Dillian Whyte is he's managing the range and distance better, and he's dictating what happens and when the fight happens, because Povetkin hasn't really got going in terms of trying to, hunt down Dillian Whyte in any sort of sense, and he's being kept at bay by that jab and keeping that fight at distance. No worries, David. If you haven't already, David, please do hit the like and subscribe button as it helps me out. Jabs exchange for both men. Dillian Whyte's jab lands. Jab lands flush for Dillian Whyte. Jab for Povetkin, tries to come in with another shot. Didn't. Left hook for Dillian Whyte. Lands again. Povetkin breathing quite heavy. Reddening around the left side of his face too. Dillian Whyte goes to the body but misses. Povetkin goes to the body and he's out of range. Left hook lands for Povetkin partially, but right hand in return lands more flush for Dillian Whyte. And Whyte's controlling this. Whoa! Jab and the right hand's hurt Povetkin. Povetkin's all over the place. Left hook has dropped Povetkin now. And Povetkin looks like he'll answer the count. But he's hurt. The refs waved it off and the towels come in as well. Well done to Dillian Whyte, who has answered back at his critics. And he's got the victory over Alexander Povetkin. The towel came in. And a very measured, contained performance for Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte as well getting the stall for Povetkin, which is really nice. Povetkin's still very wobbly. Takes the seat now. It was the 1-2 again. It might have been the jab that done the damage that caused the end of it. But the towel came in as well. Povetkin answered the count. Looked a bit wobbly on his feet. And I might have said the stoppage was a tiny bit early. But to be fair, the corner threw the towel in as well. Last King of Scotland is very happy. He's got the got 550 quid. Well done to you, mate. Celebrating. Singing Sweet Caroline, yeah? But the fight is over. Dillian Whyte gets redemption against Povetkin. Look, we in the boxing circles, they've been talking about the COVID that Alexander Povetkin has. And in the boxing circles, we've been told that it wasn't just COVID that he had. He was in hospital with... and at one point, the doctors were very uncertain about how if he was going to make it or not. It was that bad for Povetkin. So Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe just Povetkin's not got much left. Maybe he's about to retire. Who knows? Either way, though, it comes to what happens on the fight and in the ring. And Povetkin has been... Well, the towel came in the 4th round. Dillian was more measured. And he picks back up that WBC interim belt. And he'll want 1,001 days. The WBC better fucking acknowledge him, like he said. Fuck off, Last King of Scotland. I'll take that wrench off you for fucking typing that trash in the chat. Sweet Caroline. I fucking hate that song, man. That tickled me, that did. Fuck's sake. Sweet Caroline. We'll just stick around for the post-fight interview, and then we'll head out. Yeah, no worries, Last King. I'll see you on the asylum, yeah? Here's the replay for the end of it. Feint with the jab. 1-2. The right hand just wobbled him. Legs all over the shop, all over the ring. Left hook lands. And the towel comes in as well. Maybe the corner knew, maybe they knew something about Povetkin. Maybe it's the COVID. Maybe it's something else. But Povetkin... A little bit sad to see, to be fair. In a way. But from Whyte's perspective, a wrong put right emphatically over Alexander Povetkin. Really, what should have just kind of happened the first time round. Right, forget about sticking around. What I'm going to do is going to wrap up here. So, we've seen here... What have we seen here? We've seen here Michael Mckinson beat Chris Congo in a nice, interesting type of fight. We've seen Ted Cheeseman beat JJ Metcalf in emphatic fashion, getting the stoppage victory. We've seen Fabio Wardy beat Eric Molina by stoppage. Bit of a strange stoppage, but he won. And we've now seen Dillian Whyte get the victory over Alexander Povetkin. Repeat revenge. It was revenge. Dillian Whyte gets the victory. Congratulations to Dillian Whyte. I'll be back again soon. I'll be heading over to Boxing Asylum podcast to be the moderator there. Might possibly hop on. Povetkin robbed. Yeah, I'll be heading over to the Boxing Asylum now. So I'll see you guys there if you come over there. And on Boxing News TV, you'll see me pumping out the content there soon. A lot more content is coming here too. I promise you that. But I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for accompanying me here, so it wasn't just me on my own. I appreciate the guys. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next one. Whyte beats Povetkin in round 4 as the referee waves it off whilst the towel was thrown in. So congratulations to Dillian Whyte picking back up the WBC Diamond and WBC interim belt. James Winston saying Wilder Whyte, please, Eddie. Whyte's in the ether. Whyte's in the ether like fucking Bellatrix Lestrange did Avada Kedavra, whatever the spell was, and he's Sirius Black. And gone through the veil or whatever the hell it is. I want to see Dillian Whyte versus Andy Ruiz. That's what I want. Forget Wilder. Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz. Right then. Thank you guys so much. James Windsor, Last King of Scotland, David Smeaton. Thank you to W Wallace 007, Arcadius. Emily was in here as well, giving me a bit of light trolling. Amy, Aaron, Rob, fuck Rob. Boynage was in here. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you in the Boxing Asylum if you're in there as well. Thanks, guys. Should you win at the weekend, Dillian, what is the situation with the title shot you were looking for? Do you expect to have to wait, or would you expect the WBC to acknowledge from what your perspective at the time was, at the time that you had before, to wait for that title?
They better fucking acknowledge I've waited long enough, you know, and the manager situation is still going on. Povetkin is in contract. It's not like I've lost someone and no, it's still